G'day folks, how we all doing tonight? I'm gonna do a quick run and get up in the Mirror Park.
There goes all my money.
Just up the road here.
I didn't touch it. Anyway, I've got to get up, look at Mirror Park real quick. Got to go for our EMS induction. Where are we? There it is. Mirror Park's up here somewhere. Because the induction starts in 5 minutes. So I figure I should get up there fairly quickly. We're a little bit too fast. Oh no, we're good. Yeah, so we're doing EMS induction, get to go through the whole process of becoming an ambulance driver. We'll see how that is. I've already pre-set up some stuff on my little streamy deck. Hopefully it'll all work for me. Yes, beep beep. I think from here on in, there's no more red lights. Oh yeah, I got a supercharger. You might notice. Ooh. I'll park my car here. Yes I can. And the little blue spot. Made it with 3 minutes to spare. I guess you can't walk in that way. Hello.
Are you here for the induction?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Let me just invite you to the emails. 1 second.
I've brought plenty of food and water just in case. I'm pretty sure they're doing 2 inductions.
Did you get that one?
Yes I did. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. I'll be back in a sec for you. So come and.
We look at my message request.
No, you can leave your hat on.
Oh.
Can I wait here for my induction, or do I wait out the front?
No, you can wait here. Yep.
Alright, cool. Just raining.
Okay, I'm all sorted.
So, all right, follow me inside, and I'll take you to the change room and get your clothes on.
Guess we get to get some special clothing.
Might be a little bit of
if you just
a wait.
your chin towards your
But if you just
chest
jump in there,
down.
and then Jack will take care of you.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What was your name? Sorry.
Pete.
Pete. All right. Jack,
Andy,
just
do you mind
Pete
just
here, so you can
stepping
show them where
outside
their
for the
clothing
moment?
is.
I can't seem to. Oh, never mind.
A lot of people in
There
here.
you
Like
go.
that. Hello.
If you come in here,
Yep.
I'm just gonna move.
and if you find a spot.
There's a lot of
Let
people
me
in
get
there.
out of the way.
Yeah, classy.
Yeah,
Get
I'm
out.
claustrophobic. Oh my god.
Alright, once you're done, guys, just take a step outside.
Alright, so
It's a bit-
you can get changed here. So in the emails under student documents, there's a little thing with all the clothing sizes. So just have a look at
Oh.
that one's reference.
Student documents. Oh wow, they've got everything. Oh, interesting. Okay. Put on an outfit.
Sorry, guys, before you go outside,
Smith,
Hang
Smith
on.
Weston.
I have a present for you.
Try this
all, but
again.
it's on the
On
ground.
clothes. It's going to be workwear. Let's see. Zero.
There's a pile
This
of
will be
$3,000 each.
85.
Just grab only 3,000 each, please, on the ground.
Zero. Legs. 95. Shoes are 31. Hang on, that's. Shoes are 31. Hope I get to keep my hat. Scarf and chains 126. Oh yeah, nice. Shirt 153. Body armor is 0, 0, and then 246. I think our shoes are wrong. Shoes 31. Oh no, drawable is 4. Hey BB, thanks for the hydrate, dude. Okay, I've got a big thingy of water next to me. Look at that student. And I'll still get to wear my hat. I think I might take the glass. Actually, I will save that one. Save customization. Student ambo. Oh wow, I've got. This is cool. I might take my glasses off though. Take them off? No. Take them off.
So just through here.
There you go. And what I'll do. Player. Appearance. Save.
Right,
Pad.
so this is where you can get changed. Just have a look at this closet
Mhm.
here.
And
So in the emails and the student documents, there's a little thing with all the clothing sizes.
Okay, cool. Cheers,
Something
thanks.
here, I'm going to give you the
No
job
worries.
role and then get you. To
okay. I think I'll just wait over
trained.
here.
I'll send you an invite as well to the emails.
I haven't done anyone's job
EMS.
role.
I've just started, BB. So this is the induction. I've been in
Want me
here
to
for
do
2
that?
minutes.
If you don't
And
mind,
I've
I'm
got
happy to do
my,
it,
as you can
Yeah,
see,
no,
the
it's
clothing.
Sorry.
Thank you for your help tonight, Shelby. I do appreciate
That's
it.
okay. I can just do it from my iPad, so it's
Ah,
easy for me to do
beautiful.
it.
Here, so you even get a freaking
Alright,
EMS machine or
so,
something.
Danielle, over here we have the wardrobe, the medical cabinet, and storage behind. So if you just go over
Yes.
to the wardrobe, I'm going to get you in your lovely uniform. I've sent you an invite to the emails.
Don't forget your cat ears.
Under
No,
student documents,
no,
you'll see all of the
no,
catalog numbers.
no. 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 But I'm going to keep my trademark hat. Provided they let me, actually. It's pretty cool. It's Victoria University paramedic student. Very cool.
I need to give you the job role.
See, they must have a lot of paramedics. Actually, that's something I'll need to check. My jobs. Apprentice. CFA. Selected. Nice. It's already in there. You can see them changing clothes. I don't know if I'm supposed to walk out when I'm done. They didn't say anything. I'll just wait. I'll wait for instructions. Now I've got a couple of burgers. They're going to time out eventually as
Feel free
well.
to keep
But I've
any
got heaps
hats
of
and
water.
sunglasses that you
Oh,
want.
good.
Oh, that was literally about to ask that.
Excellent. It's my trademark hat.
Yeah, sun smart, you know.
Exactly.
No.
Scuba gear. That'd be funny. Give me a water paramedic.
Yes.
I think I got it all
Automatic.
right.
What about Nick?
Alright, once you guys are done, just take a step out here and I'll give you some cash.
He's giving us
So
cash.
just grab one of the piles of $3,000 each. Not all of them, just one of them.
But I'm poor.
Alright, so come back in here. Sorry, I made that really
Hang on,
difficult
just grab
coming
all of
inside
it.
and out, but
Oh,
So
shit.
just from the medical cabinet here, just grab an ambulance
29.
radio, an ambulance access card, and a stretcher.
Go. Ambulance card.
I think I gave everyone the job role, but we'll just
Thank
check
you.
after.
Yes, I got one. Thank you.
Sweet.
Sorry, what's my list of things I need to get?
An ambulance radio, an ambulance access card, and a stretcher.
Can I throw a bunch of fishing bait outside or something?
You've got a locker
Oh.
here. You can just
Oh.
put your stuff in there.
Ambulance radio.
Yeah, so no one else can access your
Shit, I've forgotten already. Oh, a stretcher.
Pardon?
Wow, a stretcher that takes a lot of weight.
You sicko.
Did you say medical kit? Sorry, I'm a complete potato. You
Beta.
said
Did
a
you say
stretcher,
beta?
radio, and
An access card.
access card. Excellent.
That's
Oh, there it is there. I think that's all the money.
Alright, once you're ready, you can head
Access
outside.
card,
Access
stretcher.
card, radio, stretcher.
Yep, sweet.
I think I might put the stretcher up in #1 slot and radio over here. I don't know what the ambulance access card's for yet.
Ambulance radio, ambulance access card, and a stretcher from the medical cabinet with the money I gave you.
Sure. I assume the access cards that gain access
what's your
into
name?
this area.
Hey?
You need to just go
Danny.
buy.
Oops.
Oh, that's me,
You
Danny.
need to go buy your stretcher, buy your radio, and your card from the locker.
I'll get out of the skies way. There's a lot of students here.
There is. It's actually like a huge
The
turnout. We've
biggest
not used it.
intake I've seen of medics anywhere.
That's good.
Yeah,
We
well,
also just had an induction
I,
as well. For
I
about 5
volunteered
cops.
because
Oh,
I
nice.
noticed there wasn't many in city lately.
Yeah, we're hoping to really fill the roster.
I always get picked up by the dude with the orange hair.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know his
Lilo.
name.
Oh, I can
He did
Yeah,
actually
he's-
do stuff to
122
people.
hours this last month of AV.
Far out.
Seriously.
That's fucked up.
It's actually disgusting. I like he got a
120,
bonus, so we did a competition. So we got $50,000 as a
Was it worth
bonus.
it, though?
Jane got 120 hours, so she got a 25k bonus.
Yeah, I know Jane.
Wait,
And the
just
third
a
place was 40
question.
hours. Yes.
You'll probably answer it in like 5 minutes when everyone else comes
Yes.
out. When you, how do you like clock on and off?
I'll show you how to do that. Don't you worry about that.
Alright.
Oh, clock on. No, this is a volunteer position. No one's getting paid.
Haha, I know
that's
how to
alright.
clock
No,
on.
I'm joking. Has everyone got their radio, their
Well,
key
see ya.
card, and their stretcher?
Yes, sir.
yes.
If you do have
Yes.
that, please make your way outside, and
Yeah.
we'll get started. And you can now unlock doors. How cool is that? Love is an open
exciting.
door. In the rain, or would you like to be undercover?
I'll double check
too.
everyone's got the job.
Yes, if you flex your tilde muscle, which is above your tab muscle, everyone just make sure that you do have the AV roll.
Yes. Ambulance, CFA, trainee, paramedic.
Beautiful.
Perfect.
That's what we want.
Look at me,
I'm
I
not
can do
gonna
my
let
job.
umbrella down. I just trust you.
That's fine. Alrighty, so the way things going to work today is we're going to go over
Yeah,
some
it might be
policies and
easy. See how it
procedures.
goes.
We're going to go over the use of your F6 menu, how to clock on, how to use all of your magical skills and abilities. And then we're going to do a couple of little practicals and send you on your way. The aim of today is not to make you into perfect paramedics. We just want to give you the foundation that you need to be taken out by an FTO, which is a field training officer. They're kind of going to be your coaches out on the road. So if you walk away from today thinking, wow, I don't know how to treat a single person, that is fine. That is the intention. We're just trying to give you all of the tools and resources to be taught out on the field, all right? So let's huddle up with our
Yes,
iPads.
sir.
You're getting rain on it.
Oh, it's waterproof cover. Thank you, though. Alrighty, so if you just go to the student documents, I've just put in the
Wait,
new handbook.
Where's the iPad?
You just think about your G
He's
wheel,
talking about,
G muscle. You can
Discord.
just, there's
So when they say student handbook and things like that, there's actually a That's actually a Google document I'm reading.
which I've just put in the student documents of the emails.
And sorry, I've got an alt tab
It's
out
not
for waiting
finished,
for the
but
game to be able to listen.
the other one was a bit too outdated and I didn't want to use it.
Can I scroll down? No. Damn it. So you must follow all rules set by NSRP, so that's you Spark role-playing.
Alrighty. So, I'm just going to quickly go over this at a lightning speed. Firstly, welcome everyone and congratulations on your new position with Emergency Services. For those of you who don't know, Emergency Services has both Ambulance Victoria and CFA. So you have the ability to be both a paramedic and a firefighter. We're just training you as a paramedic to begin with, and then the certification for CFA will come a little bit later on, as well as things like using the helicopter, the motorcycles, and other certifications, which I'll touch on in just a moment. Just some code of conduct. You are bound by the rules of both the city as well as EMS at all times. So any rule breaks of the city will affect your position here as well.
This on my phone.
You are expected to be professional at all times, maintaining those community guidelines that we have for the city while you are on duty. You have a duty of care over each of your patients. So once you start treating a patient, you must see it out until the end, unless there's some exceptional circumstances, which we'll touch on a little bit later. So if you get another call, you wouldn't just leave the patient. You would make sure that they get to hospital and that they're looked after there before moving on to the next call. You never ever oh my goodness. You never resort to violence. So as much as you will want to at times when patients can be difficult or they get a little bit mouthy with you, please don't punch them. Please don't kick them. We have some resources available to us to help us in those situations. The number one being police. They love to come and help us out. I'll show you how to get the police to come to your scene in a little bit. But please, I know it's tempting. Don't punch anyone. Don't kick anyone. If you're getting attacked, then there's other things that we can do, all right? Also, please don't bring weapons with you on duty. Even if you have the license to have a firearm on your persons, please put it in your locker before you start your shift, okay? We don't want to have another armed force patrolling the city. That's just a little bit excessive, okay? So if you have a gun, please put it away. We have lockers in the HQ and they are linked to all of the hospitals too. So you can access your belongings from any hospital or any HQ.
Nice one, baby.
You must use your medical equipment and abilities sensibly. So we are very lucky to have some of the most powerful abilities in the city, but with that comes a lot of responsibility. So making sure that we're not reviving anyone off duty, we're not treating anyone's injuries off duty, and things like that, okay? So our responsibilities, you must be on radio and you must be in uniform while on duty. You cannot use your EMS menu off duty. So your F6 menu, which we're going to learn about soon, has everything there that you need to be a paramedic and a responder. And we only want to see that being used while you are on duty. You should try and attend any meetings that we have. We actually haven't had a meeting in a very long time. But if you have any trainings or certification trainings, we'd love for you to try and attend those. We would love to see you guys trained in all of the areas of EMS. It makes you a stronger responder. It also makes your life a little bit more interesting when you have the options of going out in different vehicles and things like that. You're expected to work 15 hours a month. This has been reduced from 20, so it's pretty casual.
It's very casual.
A huge commitment. If you find that you're not able to meet that for whatever reason, personal, out of city, whatever it is, that's fine. Just let myself, Nicole, or Jane know, and we can chat about it. But it's not super strict. You know, if we can see that you're putting in effort, then that's all that matters to us, okay? So your training as student paramedics, student responders, you are required to do a minimum of 3 2-ups with an FTO. An FTO is the field training officer, to mark off 7 competencies. So these competencies are things like driving, treatment, handover, using the radio, and things like that, just to make sure that you know how to do everything. And then once you've finished all of those competencies, you'll do a consolidation, which is kind of like a little trial shift with a member of leadership to make sure that you know everything. It sounds scary, but it's not scary. It's absolutely fine.
It sounds scary.
99.9% of people pass them. I've never failed someone on my consolidation either. So you'll be fine. It sounds scary, but it's not that scary. When you're looking for a 2-up, please try to get a 2-up in city. Don't harass the FTOs in the emails. It just burns them out and makes them not want to fly in, and they feel guilty for flying in and not taking students out. So if you are in city, jump on radio and say, hello, I'm a student looking for a 2-up, or hello, it's Jackson. Is anyone able to take me out? And then go from there. You can also use your Alt-Z muscle to see how many paramedics are on duty. So if there's no paramedics on duty, there's a strong probability that no one's going to reply to your call on the radio. If you are finding that you're consistently not getting 2-ups, have a chat to me and we'll see what we can figure out. It might be your time zone. It might be just a weird time of day. Be mindful that the earlier times of the day, it is a little bit tough to get a 2-up because there's not that many people in the city. But after the afternoon tsunami, it's usually when most people start flying in. So if you fly in early in the morning and you've noticed that there's not many people around, just have a chat to me. Classy over here, Wave Classy. Classy flies in from a different time zone, so she's usually around at disgusting hours. So she's probably going to be your favorite person if you aren't from a local time zone. So the rankings, you all start out as student responders. You'll be there for a minimum of 1 week or so. It's not a rush. It's not a race. If you don't get through your student phase in a week, most people won't get through in a week. Don't be too hard on yourself. It's absolutely normal. We just kind of have a minimum just as a rule, just in case. So once you have finished your consolidation and you've passed, you'll move up to probationary responder. As a probationary responder, you're able to go out on your own, which is very exciting. You aren't able to take students out and you are not able to apply for any of the certifications. It's just a 2-week period for you to consolidate everything that you've learned as a student and give you a chance to go out on your own. After a 2-week period, and it might not be exact 2-week period, I'll just say it could be 10 days, it could be 20 days, depending on how much you're on duty and how much time you're putting in. It could be a lot less or it could be a lot more. But after that period, you'll move up to qualified, which kind of gives you the unrestricted access to go out, take students and things like that. You also have some certifications that you can apply for. We've got the Ambulance Victoria ones, which is off-road, rapid, HEMS, MICA, and a new one, which is coming next week, as well as the CFA certifications. There's also a certification for FTO as well, which means that you'll be able to train the students. So for most paramedics, 95% of you, that will be your final stage in your EMS career. But for the select few who want to take on a bit more responsibility and want to put in some more hours, you'll have the ability to express your interest for leadership positions. This is like a hand-picked sort of invite only for people who we believe can take on more responsibility. So the senior responder is kind of like a stepping stone to that. So it's not quite a leadership position, but it's demonstrating that you're willing and able to take on more responsibility and you want to try and be a bit more of a leader on the day-to-day shift. Then we have our first leadership position, which is supervisor. The supervisor manages the day-to-day shift. Any questions that students
I am paying
or
attention
paramedics have
baby.
on duty
I'm actually
can
reading
be taken up with the
these
supervisor.
forms on my mobile.
At the moment, we only have Jane as a supervisor. But she's on a lot. She's on duty most nights.
I know Jane.
You get
We've
to know
met
her.
Jane.
I'm sure you might have even interacted
I actually know
with
Jane
her
in
already.
real life, so
Absolutely lovely.
that's Eldersall.
Next, we have the team manager. They manage the teams. Crazy how we called it that. So any sort of issues that go beyond the day-to-day duties of paramedics, whether it be having a problem with another paramedic or a police officer, or you just want to have a chat about something a bit more serious, we have the team managers there. They also monitor the progress of the students and help out with the certification training. And then you have myself as the operations manager. So I manage from top to bottom all of the positions in EMS, and I'm here just to manage it for more of a long term. Any updates and changes will come from me, as well as Nicole as well. So if you have any issues, myself, Nicole, and Jane are available. Shelby, do you mind seeing what these two people are here for? Oh, classy, thank you. I didn't explain that very well, but did that make sense, everyone? The
Yeah,
rankings?
that's good.
Yes.
No worries. I just want to say there's only 3 people in the leadership team at the
Jane,
moment, myself,
she has
Nicole, and
a criminal
Jane.
character as
So
well.
feel free to reach out to us about
That's
anything.
Ava, and that's who
you
I've
don't need
been
to
playing
follow
with.
the chain of command and start with Jane and then move up to Nicole and to me. I'll give you all my number later. If you have any issues, just send me a message. I'm here to help. If you have any questions, concerns, or just want to have a chat, then let me know. Alrighty. Is it all good, classy?
They were just running a bit late to the
Yeah.
induction.
No worries. Come over here, guys. What was your name? Sorry.
My name's Ari Ninetail.
Yeah. What was your name?
He's not.
Oh, no worries. Ari, just all right. We're just talking about some policies, Ari. I'll send you an invite.
I think she's checked out at Uber. Thanks for the lurk, baby. See, I've got my lurk shit set up. Have a good sleep, dude.
Shelby, are you able to find Ari and send an invite if you can?
Nothing.
Thank you so much. Alrighty, so disciplinary action, we take misconducts very seriously. Because you do have access to very powerful abilities in the city, we take misconducts very seriously. We're on a 3-strike system. So 3 strikes and you are out. If you do something very serious or the government have to get involved, then it might not be a 3-strike system. It might just be instant dismissal. We also contact VicPol regularly, as well as doing a background check before you move up to probationary responder to make sure you don't have any charges. If you do get involved in some criminal activity and you get a charge, come and see us before we have to find out from VicPol. We'd rather you just come to us and we can chat about it. If it's not serious, then we might be able to work something out. But if you've killed someone, then I'm sorry, you're probably going to lose your job. Please don't kill people. Killing is bad.
I didn't know that.
All right, I'm going to come back to this one a little bit later. So vehicles, we have a number of vehicles. As students, you're only able to take out the Sprinter van. You'll be able to take out some of the other stuff as you grow in EMS and as you do your certifications. We have some speed restrictions as well. I'm not going to read out all of those. You'll have the ability to go through those with your FTO. I
think you skipped a page.
Radio comms, you're all given a radio today. Using this radio, you're able to access some channels that the general public aren't able to access. So our day-to-day comms is on channel 5. This is what we use for pretty much everything. If we're doing a special event or some special training, we might jump onto radio channel 6 just to keep communications clear and not to clutter up the main radio. And then we also have 9 and 10, which we use for multi-agency channels. For example, if we're working with VicPol at a big scene, we might all share the same radio there. We have some codes as well, 1 through 12. We use those on the radio just to let the other paramedics know where we are, what we're doing, and the nature of our calls. If your radio is stolen, please notify leadership or VicPol immediately. Try and keep the comms clear of unnecessary traffic. So it is a professional radio station, radio channel, sorry, not a station. So just general chatter we want to avoid. Just want to keep it clear and concise, and always using our correct call sign. At the moment, you won't have your own call sign. You'll be given one once you are promoted to probationary paramedic or responder. So you just use the FTO's call sign for now. We have some common treatments listed here. I'm not going to go through those, but we expect you to understand how to treat common things like drownings, gunshot wounds, stabbings, burns, dehydration and things like that, but the FTO is going to teach you how to do all of those. As I said, I'm not going to teach you actually how to treat the patients today. That's something you'll do on the road with a bit more of a practical training.
Jesus Christ, there's a lot.
We also have the pain relief. So we have a scale of 1 to 10. The reason we ask our patients to describe their pain from 1 to 10 is that way it can't be misinterpreted by using adjectives and things like that. Because if someone says it hurts really bad, that might mean one thing to me as it means to you. So we encourage our patients to use a 1 to 10. Generally speaking, we're going to stop at morphine. And morphine is a very strong drug, and it is used even if patients are saying they have a 10 out of 10 pain. In extreme circumstances, a MICA paramedic might get out some ketamine, which is used to sedate the patient for sort of invasive treatment or transporting them a long distance. So if a patient's saying they have 10 out of 10 pain, generally speaking, morphine will do the job. We never give out medication if patients are begging for it. So the moment that they're like, oh, I want a green whistle, I want a green whistle, they're not getting anything. We don't want to fuel anyone's addictions. So we can just take them to hospital and let the doctors decide what pain relief they can have. Another thing to keep in mind is using your best judgment as well as the chart, you can decide what to give them. So if the patient has been shot multiple times and they're just chatty and they seem pretty casual, they're like, oh, I've only got a pain rating of 3, it doesn't really add up. In the same way that if they've just bumped their head on the ground and they're telling you they have 10 out of 10 excruciating pain, it doesn't really add up either. So try to use your best judgment to decide what to give them. Alrighty. Has anyone got their live eyes on? If you could please just block your ears for just a couple of minutes.
That means I need to block my shit. Hang on. Sorry, folks. Yep, done that. Sorry, it's a couple of things he can't mention live. I'll get you back live in a sec, folks. Whoops. Someone popped out. Yes. Yeah, we do. Yeah. Gives you the IDs of all the players. Yeah, I did that by mistake once, I'll admit. Jesus. If you just tuned in, I've just had to mute for requirements for the induction here. We'll be back on in a sec. The whole boat came back. All right. Oh, there's some questions. So they're kind of talking about role playing and what's to be expected from us and from other players. Check radiation symptoms. Holy shit. Alright, I think we're allowed to get Mike back on shortly. Oh, I know that guy. Asking if there's any more questions. Alright. It's fine to put ears back on for Third Eye? Yep, sweet. And we're back live again.
Alright, do you have any questions about the handbook?
The handbook's quite extensive, folks.
Beautiful.
Very extensive. So I think I'm going to have a bit of night reading.
So now we're going to go and have a little bit of a look at our vehicles.
Ooh.
Come over here. Follow me.
I gotta go be commander.
Oh yeah, no worries.
it should be.
Thanks for your help, Shob.
El Burro number 2. Hang.
Damn.
We can get that up. That's no stress. It's all good.
Hmm.
Alrighty, so we have quite a few vehicles, as you can see.
We gave the truck a hug.
What happened to the Kluger? Anyway, Classy, do you want to grab the Kluger out for us, please?
I'm pretty sure I saw it driving like half an hour ago.
Someone probably stole it. That's fine. So the Sprinter over here, which is our main vehicle, is what
one?
most of you will be
Straight ahead?
using. It is an actual beast on the road, and please don't, think that it's a van. It's going to be slow and shit. It's not. It's an absolute machine.
Had experience with them before.
They can also
fast.
take a beating as well. So, obviously, I encourage you all to drive responsibly and carefully, but people are going to hit you occasionally, and you might run into some things, but it can take a beating.
I've had locals swerve into me with sirens on.
Yep.
Another place.
So also, something to keep in mind when choosing vehicles, the stretcher bed, which you all have in your pockets, can only fit into the Sprinter and the Land Cruiser. So we always want to make sure that there's adequate Sprinters out before having any other...
Oh, Jesus.
Any
Oh,
other
Jesus, what have I done?
vehicles out. So we have the Land Cruiser, which is our primary off-road vehicle. It's great for going up the mountains
Jesus.
and traversing those sort of all-terrain. It doesn't have a lot of room for patience. It doesn't have a lot of room for resources and equipment. So we only use it for rural calls.
Is it just one stretcher, is it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
We have this Demon Vito van, which I don't use for anything because it's ugly. But we can use this for special events, special training, and non-critical patient transport.
I think it's cute.
Yeah.
It's ugly! And then we have the BMW motorcycle, which is part of our rapid response team. That can zip around the city, get up to Bendigo and Sandy very, very quickly to start triaging. You'll notice there's no room for a stretcher on the back, so you can't transport patients there. It's used as...
Oh, are you talking about the bike?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's used as a support vehicle to triage patients to support a Sprinter.
Can
So-
I tie the stretcher with a rope?
No, I make that joke every time. So you'll hear me refer to these
put
vehicles
this
as support
away.
vehicles. So the Land Cruiser and the Sprinter, because you can put a bed in the back, I call them like a primary unit. And then things like the Kluger, the bike, the helicopter, you want to make sure you have adequate transport available.
So does that mean if you're on the bike, you mainly treat first aid injuries?
You can treat everything, but you might need to call for backup to help transport. So sometimes you might be able to send them on their way, and then you don't need to take them to hospital. But if it's a serious thing, then yeah.
So additional PTV?
Pardon?
Additional PTV if you need it, yeah?
Yeah, so people can come and help you out. We have the Kluger behind us, which is for Micah paramedics as well as the leadership team. Also, you can't put a stretcher in the back, so all the other two have Micah liveries on them. A livery is just like a sticker. So we don't often use the Kluger, but if someone puts in a call that they need help with a Micah patient, then they can zip on down in that and get there a little bit faster than jumping in one of these. And lastly, we have the helicopter, which isn't here, which is part of our HEMS service, which is a very exciting certification to do. And we will have CFA very, very soon. It's not open right now, but we're currently working on it now, and it should be finished in the next week or two. So we have a number of CFA vehicles, which will be very, very fun. So the faster you guys get through your student phase, you'll be able to apply for those certifications. Do you have any questions about the vehicles? No.
Don't ask him questions about these damn stretchers.
Just in general, the Sprinter's always going to be your best friend. I know that.
I think I'll use the Sprinter.
I want you to have fun. I want you to use your certifications, but when you all start going in these other vehicles, and the poor person who's left in the Sprinter is going to have to be your transport, person, it's really boring for them. So just keep that in mind when choosing a vehicle. I mean, you're only a student, so you can only take that vehicle. But once you move up, just be mindful of everyone else. It's not really fun when you have to arrive at a scene, treatment's already done, and you're just taking them to hospital. It's very boring. All right. So, seeing as we've already started with the stretchers,
That was my fault.
In your pocket, you have a stretcher. It's folded up very nicely. If you drag it to your use pockets, you'll be able to get that out of your pockets. The good thing is if you garage a vehicle with your stretcher or for whatever reason you lose your stretcher, you won't actually lose it because it's still in your pocket. You're able to get out another one. Please only get out one at a time. So if you use your third eye, which is... Oh, you don't have a stretcher.
You can take one of these ones.
Yeah, there's a second one. I actually need to give you a job roll. I'll be back in 1 second. Classy, do you want to teach everyone about toggling the equipment and the backrest and things like that?
God damn it. How do I get rid of it?
You're a bit quiet.
Might have to speak up.
Oh, sorry. So if y'all want to third eye your stretcher, you'll be able to take their equipment off.
Yep. Oh, not me to do that.
So you can place and remove your equipment. To pick your stretcher up, you need to be pretty close to the handlebars down at this end. Like basically on top of them. And you can third eye again.
How do you release it?
If you use your G muscle to release,
Oh, thank you.
Wait, Classy, how do I do that?
Jesus.
use your third eye, your alt muscle.
Yeah.
But you gotta be really close. You're not close enough. Mm-hmm.
And then...
You can pick up your stretcher.
Oh.
Beautiful.
Did you get that job roll?
You could also toggle the backrest just in case a certain patient
Flex the
need,
tilde muscle, you should be able to see
need to
it,
be sat up.
which is above the tab.
You do need to toggle the backrest before the
Beautiful.
patient is on the stretcher.
So, do you just want to grab,
do I
I
let
think this
go?
one over here is the spare
Just
one.
use
You
your
can just use
G
this one.
muscle.
So you want to try and get as close as you can to it with the green light at the back, and then you can pick it up from there.
I'll go get away from that car park.
So,
Oh yeah, just press G.
Oh.
so generally speaking, we always leave the yellow spinal on just to help lift the patient on and off. And obviously you don't want to have the equipment down if you have a patient there as well. So, as I said earlier, they can only go in the Sprinter or the Land Cruiser. So we're going to practice putting the bed in and out. Always open the rear doors first. You'll need to unlock the car to do that. And then you approach the vehicle using your third eye. You can place it in and then take it out. So I'll get you guys just to practice on these two vehicles here.
Yeah, no, you don't take the orange thing off. That's to help lift patients on and off the stretcher, keeps them straight.
I'll get it out for you.
Can't believe this.
How could this happen to me?
I'll press G to release stretcher. Alright, cool.
You want to go next, man?
You alright
There you
there,
go.
Ari?
Yeah, it's just having some issues.
These stretchers are very difficult to control.
So you want to come to the side with the green light.
It's like your G muscle, wasn't it?
No, it's your third eye to pick it up and then your G muscle to put it down. Yes. Huh? What?
No.
Don't know what I've
That's
done.
fine.
Did
Can get rid of
something,
that.
but I don't know.
Are you gonna try and pop it in?
I'm trying.
So use your third eye.
So we can use this one as well.
I'll see what he's doing.
Beautiful.
Oh my god. You okay?
Yeah, all good.
Then what?
Feel free to chuck it in.
You can third eye again to take it out. Beautiful.
Okay.
Need the mechanic to look at these doors.
Oh,
It's all good. Can just use your
There we
third
go,
eye
let's
to open
put
it
it in.
again.
Oh, hang on.
how come when you let go of the stretcher, it goes really low?
So people can then just sit on it,
Oh.
get on it from their height. So if you want to put yourself on the stretcher, you can use your third eye. Ugh. Not like that. Okay, there. Are you okay there?
Arr.
If you ever want to, so you can get the patients to go on by saying, "Hey, just want to jump on the stretcher with your third eye." But if they're not doing it because they're not very smart, you can come up to them with your third eye and say, "Put closest person on stretcher," and that'll force them on.
So
Nope.
just no.
Looks like we're all sleeping.
Are we all comfortable with that now?
How
Oh,
do,
yeah.
how, how do you get off?
Um,
F muscle.
there we go. F.
Say F. Oh,
Oh,
oh, it is F. Oh, that's useful.
So to get rid of your stretcher, you just leave it in your vehicle and you garage your vehicle, and then it'll disappear. But as long as you have it in your pocket, you have it forever. Another
That's
thing
this
that you
one.
have access to as a student paramedic is what we call the wand or the Dell gun.
The what?
So if you think about this with a torch out, you're able to get rid of
Torch. I've got a torch.
you're able to get rid of things that are in front of you. So whether it's the stretcher or you might have put down some cones that you can't get rid of. Please be careful because anything that is in front of this torch will be taken. That includes locals, vehicles, and other things. So really make sure you aim down at the ground and then do it. That way you're not going to accidentally take away, some vehicles or stuff like that. So I recommend going to ammunition and buying a torch. You can also get them from some service
gonna buy
stations
one.
too.
Ah, sweet.
So I'll get rid of.
What?
So Dell gun on, and then to turn it off, you just put the torch away, or you can do off as well. So you don't need any of your stretchers anymore. So I'm just gonna put those away.
Oh shit.
But if you have a look out, you can do cars too. So it's
Wow.
yep. All right.
So just make sure that something I like to say to the general public is, "Hey, look over there, the butterflies," and then generally people will turn away from you, and then, or you can just say things like, "Oh, I just need to tow this vehicle. Could you please just look away for a moment?" And then that way it helps them, believe
just-
the magic.
You just need a torch or something to trigger
Yeah,
the
anything
gun.
with anything that you can aim. So a torch, a fire extinguisher will work fine.
Oh, yeah.
Even a gun, but you shouldn't have a gun on
No.
you.
Quick question.
Yes.
If we're out on duty and we see garbage trucks randomly abandoned, are we allowed to do it
I
on
knew this
them,
question was
or
coming.
is that just full big bowl?
Previously, yes, but you aren't able to now. The great thing is, as paramedics, you can mark cars for impound using your third eye. So
Okay.
any car that is
That'd be
blocking the
cool.
road, just approach it with your third eye, mark it for impound, and the RACV drivers will descend like vultures and get rid of that because there are so many RACV drivers now.
Hey, I'm TBT on the side, so come on.
That's where I came
Yeah,
from.
no, that's no
Oof.
shade to the TBT or RACV people. It's good that we have a lot now because before we just had to do everything ourselves. Oh, everyone just watch out. Alrighty, so we just have a couple, just one more thing before we finish, which is our F6 menu, which is where all of our skills and abilities are. Sorry, I'm just hydrating. Just did induction before this one. My voice is disappearing. So, if you all flex your F6 muscle,
There's the bleed
you'll see
out.
the EMS menu. Enter is yes, backspace is no, and then you can use your arrows to go up and down. I'm just going to quickly go through each of these. So Revive Player does exactly that. Anyone who is unconscious or subdued on the ground, you can use your Revive. This uses one red medkit and will then pick them up. You also get a little bit of a bonus too, a little cash bonus to pay for the medkit. So this is usually the last step in the interaction. Once you've done the treatment, you would then get them up to their feet and then put them on a bed and take them to hospital. We have two options for if someone is not fully, quote unquote, dead or unconscious or subdued. We have heal small wounds, which uses a bandage. And then we also have treat serious injuries, which uses a red med kit. The do you have a med kit on you, Danielle? No, Classy, do you have one? Do you want to show us what it looks like when you treat a serious injury?
Yeah.
So when you treat a serious injury, you kind of just go down on one knee and you do a little bit of a patch up. So as you're doing it, just let the patient know, you're like, oh yeah, I'm just going to clean this saline. I'll patch this up here with the bandage. It's not a very long interaction as you're only down for a little bit, but it is quite common to have people come up to you and say, hey, can I just have a patch up? Rather than just doing it, please, try and have some interaction, ask what's wrong, where they're hurting, and then after that, send them on their way.
Did you say that was one medical kit as well?
Yes. So the small ones is a bandage, and then the serious injury is a med kit. The small wound will only help their health a little bit, but then the serious one will fill up quite a lot.
Okay.
Put in vehicle is one that we don't need to really worry about. Increased bleed out timer is the one I spoke about earlier for people who are going to alpha ambo or are making signs that they're about to leave your care. You can use that one. Just for reference, I've been a paramedic in this city since day one, and I've used it, I think, 5 times. So, you will rarely have to use it. Go on duty. This puts you on duty and gets you paid. You need to be in uniform, on radio, in a vehicle, with your supplies, ready to go. Those 4 things before you press on duty. Because the moment you say that you're on duty, if you use your Alt-Z muscle, the scoreboard is going to update and people are going to be aware that there are paramedics on. And also, if there are no paramedics on, their bleed out timer is reduced. The moment a paramedic goes on, it is increased. So if you are not ready to go and accepting calls, the poor person who is downed waiting for an ambulance is going to be waiting for a very long time. So please make sure that you're ready to go before you clock on. The clock off does the opposite of that, takes you off duty. Please use that if you're flying out. Don't just fly out while on duty because that can affect your hours and it might make it look like you've never worked at all. And then you'll get, a conversation with me saying, hey, why don't you work? You're like, I do work all the time. So please just make sure that you are going off duty. We have traffic management, which I'm going to circle back to at the end. So earlier I mentioned that we don't punch or attack or kill anybody, which is a huge surprise to many of you, I'm sure. The police are available to us to help us anytime a situation is escalating to violence or hostility. We have 2 options. We can request police attendance. This tells the police that we would like their help, although it is not an urgent emergency sort of situation. So an example of this would be there's someone in the area with a gun. They're not pointing at anyone, but they're just walking around. They do seem hostile, but your life isn't in danger. Or if, for example, you're treating at UWU and there's 15 people on top of you and you can't do your job because the ferals are just stacking on you, then you can call the police to come down that way. And that's a common one. If anything at UWU Cafe is usually going to be a nightmare. So you can request police attendance using your F6 menu, or you can use on the CAD, which is your plus muscle, which brings up all of the jobs. There's a little P there as well. You can press that, which your FTO will go over in more detail. Then we have duress. Duress is, oh my God, I'm about to die. I need help immediately. Duressing sends out a notification to all the police that your life is in danger or your patient's life is in danger. And if a police is not attending a call, they are going to come to you immediately. I'm a police officer and all of the leadership of EMS are police as well. So we know just how important it is to respond to duresses. It's ingrained into all of the cops, even the ones who aren't, paramedics, that if there's a duress, you drop everything within reason and get down to help the paramedics, because we do a very important job in this city and we need to be protected because we're just little babies. We can't shoot people ourselves. So if someone has a gun to your head, if a wild murder kitty is chasing you, if someone is ramming you with their vehicle, if someone has set your car on fire and wants to kill you, please duress. There is no punishment for if the police arrive and the suspect is left. There is no punishment for you just feeling uncomfortable and needing the police there. Please either request attendance or duress. There will truly never be a situation where I'm going to yell at you for using that, because the police are getting paid, you're getting paid, it's their job, and you're just doing your job, okay? So we have a couple of ways to duress, which I'm going to go over. So you can use your F6 menu, but by the time you get there, you're probably already going to be dead. So if you use your G wheel, you'll notice on the... Please don't actually do it. There's a little bell in the center radius. So you can use ambo duress there. Another way to do it is using your backspace and insert muscle at the same time. Or you can think about slash ambo duress. So you've got those ways to do it.
Quick command.
You don't need to do all of them. You only need to choose one of them. I recommend the G wheel or the backspace insert at the same time.
That's
That's probably going to be the fastest, and you can do that while running. But yes, so when you're arriving at a call, please just make sure you're assessing danger. If it's not safe for you to get out of the car, then do not get out of the car. If people are being hostile towards you, your life is more important than whatever nonsense they have on. Will criminals hear the duress? No, they will not. So it's just like a panic button on our radio. So I know I said we have a duty of care over our patients, but if you're dead, then what's the point? So you need to prioritize your life. That goes for your driving as well. Make sure that you're looking after yourself because, what does it say over there? I can't fight for my life if... I can't fight for your mate's life if I'm fighting for mine. So please don't die on duty. You know, we don't want to see any of you die. So keep those doors locked and be safe, all right? Do you have any questions about the duressing, about any situations when you might use that? Feel free to...
I got a question.
Yes.
So say on the off chance someone's riding down the highway on like
Yes.
a motorbike.
Yes.
And we fall off and we're by ourselves.
Mhm.
Do we just do the normal G call prayer thing, my bob?
So if you are incapacitated,
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to duress because you wouldn't be able to physically touch the button.
So you pretty much got to wait for a citizen to come past.
Yes, or you might be able to. I actually think you might be able to. Still, if you think about ambo duress, I think you might be able to do it that way.
Yeah.
And you can do that if you do die in that situation.
I just don't know if we got the same option as like when we're not ambos. You know how we're not ambos and they're not ambos get called.
Yeah, you can still call for a paramedic if you're a paramedic.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
But you can, if you're rolling down the hill and you think you're about to die, you can duress as well.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a question. It's not about duress.
Yes.
Typically, what would you take as a kit in regards to bandages, red med kits, etc.?
Excellent question.
Run out.
So, my personal preference is 3 green whistles, 1 fentanyl, and 1 morphine, and then 5 med kits. The great thing is you can... I don't really bring bandages because I think that they're a bit of a waste. Because I would just... If someone does have an injury, I would just treat it as a serious injury because that way it fills them up a little bit more. You're more than welcome to bring bandages. I just don't really see the point personally. Something to keep in mind though, with the medication, once you take it out of the cabinet, it does start to degrade. So only bring out what you think you're going to use. You're always able to refill at the hospitals or at the HQ. So don't feel like you need to take, 3 days worth on your journey because you're never going to be able to restock them. So just take what you need. And if you need to refill, then you can absolutely
And it costs money.
that.
If they expire, what?
You can just chuck them in any bin. I am working on getting us a bin here, but if it's expired, you can put it in any bin because it can't be used. It's fine.
Cheers.
Do we need to have money in our pockets?
Yes.
Or yeah.
Question.
Yes.
With is there also a ping location for ambo if you think you're about to fall over as well, or is that not?
If you're about to what? Sorry.
In the seals in with EMS, we had a ability to ping so ambos knew our location. Is that a thing in here, or?
No. So that's why we have the CAD, and we can see where people are en route to, and then we also say things like code 5, which means that we've arrived.
This is very in depth.
For example, I'll just do it now.
Yeah, so if we go to a call, we let everyone else know over the radio that we've gone there.
Yep, exactly. So you can also do like an AV ping, like I've just done. So if you're saying, "Hey, classy, can you please help me? I've got 7 downed people. Could you please come down?" And then you say, "Sure. Just mind sending me a ping." Just go into your phone, go to the 000, and just put in an ambulance call and just say AV ping, and then that way people have an exact GPS location that way.
All right.
Wait.
I got a question.
Yes.
That's this one here. So you just hit GPS.
The plus CAD menu thingamabob.
Mhm.
Is it like I work for Rack V? Is it like Rack V where only one
Yes.
person can go on route?
No, multiple people can en route.
Okay.
So that's the rack V just to stop multiple people stealing the one car. But
Yeah,
as many paramedics can attend the same call. That's
Okay,
absolutely
cool.
fine.
What did you mean by the 000 thing you?
So if you open your phone, you'll see the emergency app. So
yes.
here's where you call the police, a paramedic, rack V, things like that. So if you go SMS after ambulance, that's how you put in an ambulance call. So you can say
You mean
one.
you mean the ambulance / CFA?
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah.
So that's where you can put in a call if one of your friends is down, down or died. You can put in it that way. Or if you need the police to come down because you've been robbed, you can use that app to get them to your location. Alrighty, so the last thing before we're all finished is the traffic management section, which is in your F6 menu. So once you enter your traffic management, your voice box will cut off. So keep that in mind if you're out with somebody and you go into the traffic management to put up a speed zone or some objects, your voice box won't be working.
Okay.
So inside the traffic management, we have two important things, a speed zone and then the objects. The objects are going to help us when we're out on the road, things like cones and barriers and lights for nighttime. And then we also have speed zones. You might have seen these throughout the city. They're used particularly on roads to slow the local traffic down and also to let other people know on their GPS that there is an emergency scene up ahead.
Can I just do that?
You're able to choose the speed and size of that zone. Generally speaking, you're just going to choose the speed of 0. That way the locals come to a complete stop. And the size will be usually around 25. So just to begin with, I'll get you to go into your traffic management, go to your objects. The only object you cannot use is the decontamination tent. Please, for the love of God, don't get that out or else our heads will pop. So go into the traffic management and get out some objects, just practice putting them down. Something I like to do though is if you get out a box and then put it down, that way it doesn't look like you're shitting out cones.
You say shooting out cones or shitting out cones?
Shitting out cones. It just looks so strange.
Oh yeah, you can pick it up.
If you use your G muscle wheel, you can get the box.
Box Jackson.
Yep. Ah. I thought you flex your F to drop it.
It's your Y muscle. So you can usually pick up or delete your own using the menu that you put them down in, or you can use your third eye on some of them. If you're having trouble, you have the Dell gun that you can use to get rid of them, okay? So the big cones are really great because they've got a very solid base and the locals can't get through those, which is very nice. The other ones can be broken, so just keep that in mind.
So which cones are good, these ones?
The big cones, yeah, they're really, really good.
Yeah,
The
always
locals-
remember to pick them up.
Yeah, the little
Get rid
freaks
of
will steal them otherwise, which
Yeah.
isn't the end of the world, but it's just,
It's very annoying when they put them on a car.
Yes. So we're just going to go 3 at a time now to do some speed zones. So Classy, do you want to take 3 people and show them how to do a speed zone in one of the Kluger, maybe?
Okay, no problem.
And then 3 of you, do you want to join me in the Sprinter? And then we'll get to the rest after. Just use the other door, just flex your tilde muscle to stop running into the door and then just run around the side. So, I'm going to get you to try doing a speed zone. The reason I got you in the car is so that we can see the GPS. So, we're going to go into our F6 menu. We're going to go speed zone. We're going to keep the speed at 0, and then you can increase the size to, obviously don't go crazy because we are in a residential area, but you can see like a 25 and a 50. So it gets you to taking turns of doing that.
If you want it gone, you can do the objects, and then there's a delete option. You gotta stand right close to it.
All right, so I don't know who I've got in the car with me. So whoever's in the front, Danielle, do you want to put one down?
Mine's the small one.
All right, do you want to make a bigger one, please?
We'll have to stand around the front, not sure.
Okay.
Beautiful. All right, we'll get Ari to do one now. So go to your F6, go to traffic management, go to speed zone. We're going to choose a speed of 0, and then you can increase the radius to 25 or 50.
Thanks, Ari.
And then just press your enter muscle.
I've done everything. It's not letting me pick it up. I think someone else
This is very in-depth, mate. Very in-depth. I love it.
Have you tried your third eye? My third eye works on it.
Oh, he didn't mention that.
I'm just waiting for a person to put
That's
their
another option.
traffic zone down.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm gonna be EMS, boy!
Jesus, big one.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful. It's a massive one, but it's beautiful. And whoever else is in the back, so I don't know who I've got in the back with me.
It's Pete, mate. I'll do it myself. Here we go.
Yeah, beautiful.
Speed zone, I'm going to do... Please change the radius. Yeah.
Amazing.
Oh, wow.
That's a very big one. Alrighty, are you comfortable with those?
That's good.
Beautiful. All right, Danielle, do you want to send the other 2 boys in for me?
We jumping in here? Oh, you're quiet.
I really should go get into my uniform. I feel out of place.
Ah, you got this.
I feel so out of place.
You'll be a student in no time.
That is very true.
I think the numbers are in the emails if you wanted to like go for a run.
They are. I feel like I shouldn't because I feel like I might be needed.
Maybe.
Jeez, you got to get close.
Does that speed on that zone, does that notify other citizens?
You really have to get close to the green button.
You do, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Speed zone. Just to restrict everyone else driving near me.
I did forget to mention earlier, which I'll just quickly cover. So in the medical cabinet, there's a couple of things that you guys don't need. Ketamine is one of them, which is locked to microparamedics. And then we also have a triage tent, which is going to be a new certification next week, which is kind of like a mobile hospital. So please don't get that out, and please don't take ketamine out. You'll be taught how to use those eventually. If you have any questions of what you can and can't grab, feel free to send me a message.
There is is it the wheelchair as well?
Oh yeah, the mobility aid. Yeah, thank you as well is another one. That's for microparamedics. So the only thing you guys need are the med kits and the green whistle, morphine, and fentanyl. But as you grow in EMS, you'll have access to the other stuff, the more exciting stuff. Do you have any questions about the objects or the traffic zones?
The cones are the best ones to use.
Yeah, I love the cones. They're really great. I think that they're going to be your best friend. The other ones are a bit flimsy.
Yeah.
There is a gazebo in the cabinet. So not the triage tent, but the gazebo. I'll show you what it looks like just now. So you are allowed to buy one of these if you would like. They are quite heavy. They're 4 kilos. You can use these when multiple people are
15
down
kilos.
or if it's raining and you want to keep someone undercover. Feel free to buy one and use it if you'd like. There's no pressure to, though. But as I said, please don't grab the triage tent. It's massive and it's for very special situations.
So, would we normally use the objects and the speed zone in the same, together?
Yep. So, like, if someone had a car crash on the highway, you can put up a speed zone, and then you can also put up a couple of cones as well, because you get the occasional dickhead who wants to drive through and is impatient. So, if you've got the cones up, at least you're protected then.
Yeah.
The speed zone will destroy people's engines if they hoon through. So that is a good deterrent as well, but you will still get people like, oh, I didn't see anything. I didn't fucking see the zone. And then...
that's on them.
That's on them, exactly.
Okay,
They do
Did
get
that a few
notified.
times.
They get notified before they enter the zone that there is a zone, so there's really no excuse. They should be looking at their map and being self-aware, but self-awareness isn't something that everyone's blessed with, unfortunately.
You know, coming up on a scene where there's emergency service vehicles with flashing
Yeah, lights
should be
and
pretty
sirens
obvious.
and but
So I went through a zone. Well, not went through, but stopped at a zone a while ago that said 40.
Mhm.
So did that mean the EMS set that to 40?
So I think that that's a bit of a visual trick. If you set it to 0, it's always going to say 40, I think. But yeah. Any more questions? Feel free to throw them at me. There's no such thing as stupid questions. Only stupid employees.
I think you see the speed when you're in the driver's seat.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
All right. So as I said earlier, I'm not teaching you how to treat the patients. That's going to happen on shift with an FTO. Unfortunately, we timed this induction really poorly tonight because we have a city council meeting. So Jane has just taken off. And I don't think many of our paramedics are around. But Classy, were you up for taking anyone out or?
Yeah. Probably gonna take Nicholas and 2 others, I guess.
Yeah, so there's room for 2 more. If you don't get the opportunity to go out now, don't stress. We've got all weekend, we've got all next week, so don't freak out, okay? Your time will come. Just jump on the radio or just rock up at Mirror Park and be like, hello, take me out. And then I won't be taking anyone out because I just need to get Ari set up with her uniform and job role and things like that. But yeah, well done, everyone. Welcome to EMS. If you have any questions, please let me know. But apart from that, congratulations. Welcome on board.
Yay.
I think this is a very strong group, and I'm very excited to have you all
Does
on board.
anyone have any spare water?
Not yet, bro.
There is-
Drank all mine.
I got some.
There's also a servo
I've got
across
some
the
Farmers
road.
Union, but that's about it.
All right, we've got 2
There's
spots
safety
for
laws.
Classy. If anyone wants to go with Classy.
Yeah, pick
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
pick me, pick me.
I think we'll just take
Oh.
this.
Unfortunate.
Alrighty. Ari, let's get you set up with your
I do
uniform
need to be
and
in my
job
head
role.
for
Everyone
maybe
else,
5
you
or
can
so
finish
minutes
That's
if you
cool,
want to
same.
just. Have you guys got your med kits and stuff?
Of
Oh,
course,
no,
my
where do we
voice
get
will
out?
should go-
go
yeah,
to
we've got to go inside of the
Dr.
med
Which was
cabinet.
a terrible idea.
Wait,
but
let's,
I did it
go.
anyway.
Are you coming, Nicholas?
But also, if you need my number, it's on the notice board inside. You can use your third eye on it if you need to message me or whatever. So the notice board is just in that meeting room there if you ever need it. You can go and grab a little contact sheet. So, did you get invited to the group, Ari? Yeah. So once you're in there, you'll see the student documents page. There's
Have them all
uniform.
open already.
Beautiful. Do you wanna? So we have our medical cabinet here. We have
Two
our
med
wardrobe here,
kits.
and then we have a locker behind us. So feel free to use that wardrobe.
Let's grab 2 green missiles and 1 fentanyl and 1 morphine. That'll be enough. Thanks for the induction. It's worth it.
No, thank you. It's great to have you.
I just grabbed a couple of med kits and stuff to get out on the road and give it a crack.
Yeah, no worries. Are you going out with Classy or?
Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. Also, were you the one that I sent the rejection to and then?
Yes.
Yeah, I apologize.
No, that's all right. I got the rejection. I actually spoke because I know Jane personally, and I said, Jane, oh man, I got rejected. I don't know what I did wrong.
Yeah, you did nothing wrong. It was just me copy and pasting the wrong thing. I looked at it the next day. I'm like,
good.
wait, that's not right.
That's cool.
You fucked up.
I did.
Fucked
It's
up.
my I've just taken over as ops manager, and I'm still learning that like applications platform.
Oh,
It's a
right,
little
yeah.
bit tricky. So
Yeah, I'm the truck driver that likes to get around and tries to get RACV under control. It's an absolute nightmare. So I know where you come from. But yeah, it should be fun doing this as well. So yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good. It is a good little job. I enjoy it.
All right, I better get out.
Yeah, no worries. See you later.
Thank you.
Great job, Kiki.
Right. Oh, you got to unlock it each time. Sweet. Oh. I think she left. And she took other people. Oh. Oh.
Not even the fun one.
I think she left and took some other people with her. That's fine.
Jane's almost finished her council meeting. If you just want to wait around for
I'll
her.
I'll just wait around. I've got a couple of things I've got programmed into a special brain box. Like
yes.
let's do
Love that
this
idea.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Only problem is when I do it, I can't hold my chat button down. Otherwise, it'll does a whole bunch of ends everywhere.
Oh no.
Fair enough. Yeah, mine's the same with V's. V.
It's a quivering lip. Whoop, damn it.
How do I piggyback you?
Null PB.
I did that. It's not working.
Yeah, I was having trouble with that yesterday. There's also D drag as well, which is quite fun.
That one works.
I've been collected.
Yoink.
I'm really excited for CFA as well. I'm hoping that will be next week or the week after.
Come here.
All right, that's pretty good.
Haha.
So which one was that one?
D-drag.
D-drag.
Oh, that's cool. That's pretty good.
It is fun. Oh, look how beautiful you look in your uniform.
Hey, and a mask
I don't want
too.
to D-drag. I want to drag.
Alrighty. Did I give you? No, I didn't. All right, Cupid's put me down, Daniel.
What the fuck? I'll bring you over.
No, I need to get money out of the office.
Okay. Here we go.
Oh, is this a sugar daddy moment?
So that's rat. I might go and check this real quick. Oh. Oh. Okay. All right, there we go. It's gonna be hard to put my numbers in when I've got to look at that. What I'll do, I'll hit 12 it, and then I'll be able to do it later. Sweet as. Actually, what I will do is put that down the bottom. That Gerald I met earlier today. He's a medic. Not a medic, sorry, a lawyer. I change it to 0.
But yeah, not for students because you're not real people. I'm just kidding.
It's true.
So let me just give you $3,000.
Yes, I will take that. Thank you.
So Ari, just get out of your pockets for me. All right, just head over to the medical cabinet and you can grab a stretcher,
This
a
does
radio,
look like the
and an
medical
access
kit will
card.
expire, which is pretty cool.
Yes, Danielle.
But these
no,
guys
I
do.
desperately need some though.
I gotta
See
go.
the practice on that one.
You can get some across the road.
Where's that document so I can look up the radio? So radio 5, day-to-day comms.
It was the ambulance radio too, right?
So 5
Yes,
is day-to-day
exactly.
comms. I'm
And then
going
the
to
key cards, and then you can
set
get back in as
preset
well.
1.
Perfect.
And 6 is for training. Set preset 2.
Also, sorry I was running late to the
No, it's all good.
induction.
It happens. I'm sure Jane will be happy to take you out once she's back.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll just stand around and wait. I'm just going to I'll just set up the radio.
Yeah, no worries.
I've got to set up my radio, but I'm gonna pop out in Vice, but I'm probably gonna be on tonight.
Oh,
So
yeah,
hopefully
beautiful.
I can get someone to.
Yeah,
to
hopefully
be in.
yeah, Lilo or Jane should be around. They both did 120 hours last month. It's disgusting.
Struth.
Yeah.
Look, I strive for that. I love being in medical.
Don't strive for that. Strive for work-life balance.
What am I striving for?
I don't want work-life.
120 hours.
Fuck that.
Work-life balance sucks.
I might drag that.
You gotta go
down
hard
to-
or go home.
I'm your favorite.
So it gives me
Go
access
hard,
in
go
and out. That's fine.
So I'm just saying a welcome message to the emails.
What the fuck?
I think I just saw a dog outside.
I gotta quickly fly out, but I'll be back in like an hour.
No worries. Have a good night.
Thank you. I don't think I've gone on duty yet. I don't think I have.
It's all good.
That's right. Oh yeah, I shouldn't be on duty yet. Yeah, I'll wait for Jane to go on duty. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm holding out for a hero.
I need a hero. I'm holding
So there's a
out for
few extra things I'm gonna have
hero.
to start
I gotta
punching
go back.
into the
Yeah.
control deck. Like tagging vehicles and stuff. Instant fly.
What is this?
Oh damn, that car left. I'm pretty sure that car was for a local's car. I want to test to see if that tow thing works. I think this is where...
It's the nearest trash
I'm
bin.
gonna make you regret it.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, okay, so that's
Yeah,
where you can
have a
get
look
your,
at the
your
vehicle
cars
if you'd
out.
like.
Where's the nearest trash bin?
Um,
Oh yeah.
Victoria's gonna get sold. Haha.
No.
Oh, deleting the vehicles.
Should it come down to the city council, see if it's what's happening? Feel free to
I
come.
will change. Wait.
They put my seatbelt on.
61 patient to Mount Zona.
Tuxedo. I'm suffering.
It's a
Priority
lights and
one to
siren situation.
justice.
Yeah, this is a bit of a slug, isn't it?
It's so slow.
Oh, look out.
Oh no, we speed. We good.
It's not speeding, it's an emergency. Speeding is unlawful.
I read that handbook. 140 is too fast in the city.
I've actually been lucky not to get busted for speeding yet. Oh,
I have one speeding fine against my name, and it was an absolute bullshit fine. It was malicious and hateful by another police officer.
Who was it?
Just one of the leadership.
What's their name?
I cannot disclose.
Why not? Ow, my head.
It's getting pretty busy.
Yeah, because there's 1 million people in City Hall right now.
Yes, ouch. Here I come. Oh, Jesus.
Gotta go listen to what the what's going on inside. Holy shit.
Yeah, on another topic, there was mention of like a buyback scheme. That could work if people are really going to sell their guns back to the city, get obviously destroyed or taken care of. Might offer a bit of incentive to minimize the amount of guns on the street.
How much is
Enough
this
to
buyback
match the
scheme
buying
gonna be?
market.
That's a good question, because like it's got to be obviously incentive enough for people to actually hand over their gun. Otherwise, what's stopping them from just going to the alleyway and selling it to somebody else?
So are we talking about low caliber firearms? Are we talking about potentially automatic firearms?
So the complaints that have been raised to me are around automatic firearms. So semi-automatic weapons. I don't really know that much about them, to be honest. Something about dragons and shooting out the sides of cars. I don't really know the names of the weapons, to be quite frank with you. But
well, I want to pass this on to the sergeant of the Victorian Police. And my question for you, Sergeant, is what is the estimated value? Per,
Sweetie, you are not the host of this, so pipe down. In terms of the radio check question at hand here, the gun registration, Victoria Police are wholly against this proposal. There's a reason that these weapons are not legally available. They're dangerous and deadly. So to propose that these types of weapons, including semi-automatic, automatic, armor-piercing weaponry, to be lawful in Melbourne is absolutely preposterous. However, on that note, I know there may be some concerns about the guns you have, so if anyone would like to hang behind after the meeting to discuss with me or any Victoria Police member about their automatic weapons, I'm more than happy to have a chat with you.
Yeah, we're fucking good, mate.
What about
Oh, yeah.
what about supplying sort of like an amnesty period for people to hand back their guns in? Would that be something that be an incentive?
At this stage, I would believe also Victoria Police is probably not interested in purchasing illegal firearms off individuals as well. Although I believe the proposal is for the city of
there's
Melbourne
a couple of
to
different
purchase
things.
them.
Yeah, so it's around how do we get the guns off the street, and if they're not off the street, how do we make sure that the owners aren't incorrectly using them? Because unfortunately, it's getting a little bit out of hand.
Yeah, my advice would just be don't purchase illegal firearms unless you want to go to jail. Yeah.
It sounds like Vic Paul doesn't give a shit about the current situation. They're just going to leave it and hope it dies off itself.
I don't. We'll give a shit. We'll definitely be out in force. As you guys are quite concerned, we can increase our numbers to do a crackdown on these illegal firearms.
Don't bring out
That's not a
two bad
problem.
cats.
Thank you for the idea.
Are you saying the police force is currently inadequate to control the firearms?
You need some better drivers,
No,
though.
but since it's such a large issue currently, we're more than happy to. We've got a specialist team, our CERT team. More than happy to have discussions with our senior leadership to possibly roll out increased force across the city, since it is such an issue.
Do you think
Well,
you
they
get
can't
driver
do it so well
training?
anyway.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
We're not taking questions at this time, but there will be a portion at the end. So just take a note of your question. You can ask it when we finish our session today.
Might get all units from duty out of
All right, so I'll park that one for a future session then, because I didn't hear any suggestions beyond leaving things at current state. But there is a serious issue with semi-automatics as far as I'm concerned. I've been made aware by several people who have been shut up at Uwu allegedly or in other grounds of Melbourne. So we do need to do something to address that.
Bet your bottom dollar we are, mate. You want to challenge us? We'll fucking go.
Pipe down, Andrew.
The fuck?
Of course.
Number one target, mate.
I just think with the obviously if we're trying to bring down the amount of issues that we have with guns, is it just are we just talking about the ARs or?
We're just trying to get any sort of illegal weapons either identified with an owner, firstly, or taken off the street completely.
I still think I'm still quite in favor of like almost like a buyback. So if you don't provide an opportunity for people to return them without being charged, then it will continue with people hiding them and trading them illegally. So I guess, for example, Port Arthur is a perfect example of power of an amnesty period and a buyback. So, and then obviously, Big Pole can do what they like with those guns, destroy them, or whatever they see fit.
Perfect. I might consult further on that one, maybe with Victoria Police, and come back to that. But yeah, thank you. That's not a bad idea at all. The next one, this came from a civilian. It's around the casino uniform policy. We've received a couple of requests to write a letter to the casino to remove or change the casino's uniform policy.
Yes,
At the
please.
moment, there's a requirement for formal wear.
Stop being poor.
What I'm opening up to the council is, or what do you think the clothing requirement should be, if any? Should there be a change from formal wear to something else?
I mean, if you don't have enough money to buy a fucking suit, maybe you shouldn't be going to the casino.
Yeah, the Victoria Police like to state that the Diamond Casino Resort is a privately owned business, and therefore it's completely discretionary to the owner whether or not individuals that patron the facility wear formal wear. Melbourne City should have no bearing on this.
I believe that if you were to enter a respectable business, such as the Diamond Casino, you must dress respectfully and show respect for that business. The Diamond Casino is known for its luxurious penthouses, rooftop bar, helipad, and obviously gaming facilities. The hosts are dressed
Who the fuck is that
respectfully, and so
talking?
shall you be. As Mr. Fratello also stated, honey, if you can't afford to buy a suit, then you shouldn't afford to gamble.
You can just rent a suit.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, rent an outfit, that works.
Fuck, Greggy, get down.
Alrighty. Well, I am also in agreement. So the most I could do is write a letter to the casino if we thought there was a need for a change, but I'm also in favour of formal wear at the casino.
Maybe as a substitute to make everybody happy, maybe they should have a place where they can rent the formal wear nearby. That way we don't have to go this far. Might give a bit more incentive.
Yeah, I can definitely write that down.
Yeah, potentially a lost and found in the storage room at the casino that individuals can, maybe find
I'm
some
going outside real
suits
quick.
there or garments to wear.
Y'all come out.
Perfect. I'll make a note of that and I'll pop in a request for them. The next one is in relation to crate drops, I believe is what they're getting called. There's crates that drop from the sky, apparently from planes or something like that, and then everyone runs in with guns and shoots each other or something completely insane. What I have been requested to consider is introducing some sort of new charge for Victoria Police that they can immediately hand out at drops after performing a search on any individuals that are involved. Potentially, what I was thinking was 200 weeks ComServe because they can process it on the spot, but of course, open to other ideas. I might throw to Natasha for that
Objection.
one. Yeah, thank you. Cool. So, Victoria Police would like to thank the City of Melbourne for raising their concern with the ongoing escalation of violence in relation to these so-called crate drops. Pipe down. Thank you, child. So the safety of civilians is Victoria Police's number one priority. So we are more than happy to discuss how to increase our presence at every single event to ensure that none of those pesky high-caliber weapons that are apparently plaguing our city are getting out in the streets. And we are more than happy to consider how else we can deal with the consequences for those individuals who decide to try and get amongst these horrible, horrible events. Thank you so much.
We don't need...
Absolutely in favour. Extra weeks for everyone.
I don't agree it should be 200 weeks.
Yeah, that's a little bit excessive. Like,
yeah, maybe 500, yeah.
That's 4 years imprisonment.
What the fuck?
Wow.
I guess
And
the
didn't you
issue
say
that
ComServe?
I said ComServe
Should be an
because they
ICAC
can
into
process on the
Victoria
spot.
Police.
They wouldn't need to take people back to a station, which I can understand can take up to an hour when there's so many people that are down on a site.
I do know from past experience that ComServe, like, you're not able to leave a certain area. So how would people go about getting food and drink?
We could
Like,
install
200's a
some
lot.
vending machines nearby.
Lose everything, get charged.
Well,
I still think, yeah.
Sorry, Miss.
No, you're okay. I just still think 200 weeks is a little excessive, and like in my opinion at least.
You know what? I completely agree with you, and the fact is that I feel like the Victoria Police should continue out their duties, and if they find
fuck
any
is that?
individuals that are in possession of these crates, or in possession access to these crates, or around these said crates, I believe they should be charged accordingly due to the Victorian law that has already been in place to protect this community. Now, I believe if the Victorian police wanted to prevent this said crate
dress
drops
codes and stuff.
dropping out, well, I believe it would only be from an aeroplane, I believe the Victorian police should not punish the people who maybe require these crate drops to provide their daily needs. However, I feel like the Victorian police should put more effort and time into investigating who is dropping these crates. Who are the people that are putting these alleged firearms into the hands of these individuals? I feel like that's where the Victorian police's time should be aimed at, not the time sentencing these individuals who find themselves in tricky situations, but into finding out who is putting these firearms, such as the people dropping them out of the sky from airplanes. That is
Victoria
what
Police
we
would like to comment on this.
Can I clarify, sorry, Miss Queen?
Yeah, go for
Did
it.
you just say that the crates are full of illegal weapons?
Yeah, I believe you said those are the things that we should be punishing people because was it their daily needs, is what you said? So the firearms are their daily needs. Interesting.
Well, I believe, just to reiterate, I said that some people require and live
Firearms,
off these
illegal
crates.
firearms.
I actually don't know what has been found inside these crates. Just from the street, I've heard that maybe you might find food or some rations.
Ration packs, yeah?
Yeah, okay.
Ration packs. So some people actually require on these daily needs, so punishing them at a very high 200 weeks. May I just elaborate? That's nearly 4 years imprisonment.
Holy fuck, there's a lot of people.
Okay. Now, to punish them with that, I feel like it's just incredibly insensitive and just ethically not correct. I feel like the police should spend 4 years, 4 years investigating where these crates are coming from and preventing them from happening. That's just my 10 cents.
I agree with Frosty. To be honest, by the sound of it, cops are getting a bit lazy. Don't want to go back and do the paperwork correctly, so they want to get it done over the spot. They don't want to take someone back and do paperwork, so why should we give them the privilege of being lazy?
Sergeant Queen, if you don't mind me asking, is there currently like a Sky Patrol unit of Victoria Police that we could use?
Paul Air, you mean? Is that like Paw Patrol?
I don't know what you call it. I'm not part of the police.
Vic Air Defense.
Paw Patrol, is there on the top?
Oh, she's thinking
Yeah,
about it very
exotic. What
carefully.
have you been up to?
Logo City have called and they need you.
Did you say Pol Air?
I mean, this is just a council meeting at the moment. Unfortunately, I was hoping to be able to go out for like half an hour with Jane.
I can see.
She could, but she won't hit you.
Just to learn some of the ropes doing EMS, but it looks like I might
can
make
you
it.
fire out of Pol Air?
Shit, is that burger still?
Certainly can.
Can you
That's
destroy
okay.
the planes that are bringing illegal crates of weapons
Might
into
end up taking this
Melbourne?
myself. Hey, probably not.
Good question.
Yeah, I might follow up
There's
with
a
you
dog.
on that a little bit later.
Good question.
They
That,
probably
could be
can
a
if
good
they
idea.
try hard, but they're
There's a
pretty
dog
good
in
at
here.
their job, hence this law change.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
sort
can
of.
get tanks down and shoot them in the sky.
However, say for example, I mean, I don't want to dwell on the past, but there have been horrific
Paramilitary now, are you?
aviation accidents in a result of shooting planes out the sky. How do we know that the Victorian police won't shoot out a passenger airline? Or how do we know that there's not innocent
Oh my God.
individuals
Passenger
on
airliners are
board
not
these
dropping crates
airlines
out of their
that are
plane.
dropping these crates?
And how are they going to
Not the
control where
military.
how are we going to control where this plane is dropping? If they're going to shoot it out the sky, it could hurt people. You know, it's kind of endangering the community.
Same for the
And
crate
I
though.
believe, as of the Australian Aviation Act
Crates on a
1998, it actually prohibits non-militarized groups or entities
Oh,
such
there's
as the
no
Victorian
Aviation
Police.
Act in Melbourne, so I think we're okay
Oh!
there, Rusty.
That's fucking embarrassing.
Is there a vending machine over there, bro?
Well, that must have been that smudge underneath that piece of paper. I can't read anyway, Miss Vanche. So,
I know, it's okay.
Yeah. I apologize.
Look, I'll follow that one up with Big Pole directly for the next time that the crate drops are happening.
If we want to stop the crate drops from happening, we'll fucking stop them then.
Yep, I think so. If that's where the illegal weapons are coming from, absolutely.
We could get some fighter jets worked out.
For sure.
The next request is also in relation to the medical marijuana licenses handed out by Ambulance Victoria. And this is more of a policy point from AV, so I don't know if there's anything for us to vote on, but I can certainly write a letter if we think it's appropriate. But
What was the question?
there's been a request regarding whether medical marijuana licenses can be given to
367.
anybody regardless of criminal history.
I've got plenty of money, but
I think we covered this in the
fucking can't be
previous
bothered
one
going
that we
over
just
there.
discussed. That
Absolutely. They're fucking
we don't
expensive
what we
things.
want a 30 or 45 day clean record.
No, this is for people getting treated with medical marijuana. Yeah, it's different to the business license.
Would you like the current policy?
Yeah, if you're able to.
So
Just
currently,
go on public address there, Jack. You're a little bit quiet.
So currently, the medical marijuana permit is handed out on a case-by-case basis for people with ongoing chronic illness and pain.
Ooh.
It's
What the
a
fuck?
background check is completed, so obviously people with the history of drug trafficking or
Winch fest.
manufacturing of drugs to dependents are not going to be eligible for this.
That's fucking hilarious.
Must have been Doyle Brown.
Prominent.
That's fucking hilarious.
Up 7 years.
Promenade.
Great job, 7 years.
Oh, fucking hilarious.
Sorry, Jack, can you repeat that?
Yeah, no worries. So the marijuana permit is handed out on a case-by-case basis by a MICA paramedic for ongoing chronic pain and injury. It's not for short-term pain relief. They also consult with the patient to make sure they haven't got any history of drug dependencies or manufacturing drugs of dependence, as we don't want to be giving permits to people who are just going to flip their marijuana to the public or just use that as an alibi to get away with drug trafficking.
Sounds good.
So the permit allows the patient to carry
fuck
up
is that
to
guy
6
doing?
bags or 6 units of of marijuana, and it lasts for a 3-week period.
Every 3 weeks, is it reviewed?
Correct.
I don't see any need to change.
Yeah, I feel like that now that we've passed that, well, potentially if that medical marijuana prescription bill gets passed, it will just make this process easier. And that, you know, people will have an easy access to medical marijuana. So yeah, I feel like there's nothing new to be said here.
Viper Security, can we please get Meatball ejected from the premises? Thank you.
Wait, what's he done?
What the hell?
I didn't even see him. Very professional.
He's up the stairs behind.
Damn, security lost him already.
You touching that's gonna be a big mistake.
This way.
Alrighty.
Jump.
So, based on the current views of council, I won't be changing that law then. But putting in that letter. The next one is in relation to
Go, Meatball.
valet for car parks, in particular around Uru Cafe. So, I guess my question for council today is: should a law be introduced that requires civilians to use valet car parking spots if they're within 100 meters, as an example of a valet? And if not, is there any other alternatives that can be put into place to provide clarity to everybody as to when they're required to valet their cars and where they might get towed.
I think in order to answer that question, I just want to clarify. Does UWU have ownership on the car park in front of UWU?
I believe so, yes.
Alright, so to confirm, I'm hearing in the crowd opposite, so I need to confirm.
There are
Does
many
UWU own that parking
storefronts
lot?
in that area.
Yeah. It's a public car park.
So who's
It is
the
public?
technical owner of that car park?
Well, if it's public, it would be us, Melbourne City Council.
Can I chime in as manager of UWU?
Of course, Danny.
I believe that up till the curb, just in front of the grassy area,
Yeah,
of
Veronica, you want
UWU,
some pizza?
I believe that is where UWU owns up to. The car park is technically public, which would be council property. Usually, we expect people to kind of at least show some respect in the vicinity, though, by putting their cars away, as you know, staff and others around often suffer with these really weird migraines. So valeting the cars definitely helps quicken our service when there's a lot of people.
Yeah, with the services that UWU does provide the city with food within the city premises, I think we should at least support them. And if they do want cars put away, I think maybe we should look at something like that. But we do maybe need to have some kind of indication to people to have it. Otherwise, it's just going to cause arguments for VicPol and RACV for when their cars get towed. Maybe if we could get some kind of signage up for it.
What the fuck?
We'll just wait for this and then we'll go again.
Why is it so loud?
I don't know.
Can you just better?
Timestoppers.com. I reckon we murder Mr. Brown.
Alright, as I was saying, I think we need to have some kind of signage up. That way it's not up for negotiation who owns the parking lot. Because every time I've seen somebody come and try and control with valet, they're always arguing that no one, who doesn't own it. Or maybe we get some kind of lawful signage up there to say to valet your car.
That also means people need to stop parking on the valets as well.
I feel like there should be a 5-minute grace period for those people who are maybe on road trips or on the go. Maybe
I think it needs to be one way or the other because it's very hard to enforce 5 minutes. Like how would you do that in practice? Someone have to stand
let's
there.
do an alternative and maybe let's hire some valet people to make the valet a little bit faster. Because when they go park your car, it takes a little bit for them to go retrieve it. Why don't we make the valet a little bit faster? And we introduce the law to valet the cars. That way it's win-win for everyone.
The valet only has a 30-second cooldown now, just a heads up.
Ah, fuck, there we go. It's about the time that it takes to run in and get your combo. If there's fucking workers.
What would
Maybe if you worked.
What would the
So-
consequences be if these individuals didn't valet their cars, Miss
They'd get their cars towed by RACV.
Okay. Well,
Then does
So
it
what
not
if they
just
don't park
cause
on a valet?
a sitting nest for RACV to stay in the car park and they'll just sit there like hawks?
What if we introduced a possible parking enforcement division?
As long as they're riding on bikes, I'm happy.
Bicycles. Bicycles.
Yeah, bicycles or tricycles.
Just to go around, give people warnings to
The fuck?
Bright
valet.
yellow vest for safety regulations.
Sounds good.
I'm happy with that. Instead of RACV, just a safety warden kind of there.
I think with that being so close to UWU as well, what does UWU really think about that?
I don't think
Danny?
RACV know that the city exists, to be honest.
I object that statement.
I don't know, they don't have a brain half the time.
Alright, so I'm going to propose the following law, just for completeness. So the law would be if there is a valet within 100 meters of the car and the car is parked outside the valet, that car can be towed.
Is this service vehicles exempt?
Yes, police and Ambulance Victoria would be exempt because they're performing emergency services.
What about taxis?
And they're corrupt.
I mean, the taxi would be parked. It would have somebody in it. So
Yeah.
Been here for like a minute. This is a shit show.
It's a pickup duty. All right, so all for the valet car park laws, please raise your hands. Perfect. All right, that passes then. All opposed.
There's a few
Perfect. All right, that
opposed.
one
Interesting.
passes.
That's gonna be a good law. Basically means rack V can tow at will.
Just to reconfirm as well, that's abandoned vehicle, yeah? If someone is at the vehicle, is it still...
If they're at the vehicle, then they haven't, like, they're still driving it.
As long as that's
effectively,
made clear, because people can be a rat.
Yeah, but if they're outside the vehicle, standing next to it, you know, hovering around, etc., like that car should be parked. But I'll
Can there be more valets at Uwe? Because that's going to create a lot of cars.
There's already 6 valets at Uwe. I don't know. People just keep parking on top of them is the other issue. So this should also help with that.
Can you make them clearer? You can't always see them.
Yep, I'll write valet over the top of them.
One way of doing it.
So the next item is in relation to bicycle helmets. So there's currently a requirement for any individual on a bicycle or a motorbike to wear a helmet for their own safety. I've had a number of requests for this requirement to be removed. So I guess what is up for council discussion is firstly, do we allow natural selection to take place for bicycle and motorcycle drivers?
Yes.
And secondly, is there any alternatives? For example, can we have a look at whether there are any beanies or hats that can be padded instead of helmets? I might open it up to, I feel, Jane and Winter, because you're both sort of...
Let him have it.
Well, I think we all know that the studies show that using a helmet reduces the risk of a traumatic brain injury by 53%. So, as much as I love scooping you guys up off the streets, I don't like seeing you with happy brains out on the concrete. So, I don't believe that you should be riding without a helmet.
Learn to ride a bike.
It's not about you learning to ride a bike; it's other people around you. So. You may be great at riding a bike, but the average Joe Blow driving the car, your locals, they're not so great.
I can take a car.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I'm happy to take that risk. So, I feel like there should be some other alternative at least, in my opinion at least.
I think it's just putting a lot more stress on EMS as well, having to skip a lot of officers that aren't wearing helmets when we could be using our valuable resources.
Are you feeling okay, Shelby? Oh, no reason. Excuse me? I was just making sure you're okay.
You shut up down there.
I'm in support of Winter here. I feel like does Victoria Police highly advise? Does Victoria Police and Ambulance Victoria highly advise that you wear helmets? Yes, they should highly advise that you wear helmets. However, I do not feel like it should be a fine, a charge, or a reason to be pulled over it. I think riding a bicycle or there or near should be of your own will and risk. If you fall off, toughen the fuck up. Have a cup of concrete.
I agree.
Oh, there's a problem.
But to be
I mean,
honest,
9 times out of 10 I do.
if Vic Paul really gave a shit about people's lives, I'd do something about the gun law, but here we are. The fucking helmet law sounds like they're a bit nitpicky. I say natural selection.
Yeah.
Why is Vic Paul on the council?
Concrete.
Okay, well, throughout this entire
something's going on
Winchfest,
over with
Victoria
this
Police has
one
been accused of not
at
caring about the public
Vinewood.
health and safety of Melbourne City.
Vinewood
So in relation
is
to that, I would just like to bring up that a recent
this
study
area
by
here.
Ulat and Canastille actually shows that unhelmeted riders have 2 to 3 times the fatality rate of helmeted riders, and actually twice the rate of a serious brain injury. So Victoria Police is absolutely in favour of the law remaining as is, which requires all motorcyclists. Shut the fuck up! All motorcyclists and bicyclists to wear helmets. And to your point, Mr. Petrova, the fines exist to prevent precious EMS resources from being deployed to deal with your stupidity for not wearing a helmet.
Give something to do.
It's also an expense to the taxpayers for emergency services to respond to these calls.
Yes. That's what we pay tax for.
And that's on period.
We wouldn't want to raise taxes or anything.
The little chin strap onto. Thank you, all the bikers in the back.
Victoria's a nanny state.
So I will put it
That's
to...
for the slide, not the ride.
I'll put it for a vote. All in favour of removing the law in relation to helmets, please raise your hand. All opposed, please raise your hand. It is 50-50, so that does not pass.
50-50.
'Damn, I like that guy.
Do a head count.
Where's the ICAC? We need a commissioner.
They won't. They will only look at the law as it is currently written. They do not have the ability to review council decision and vote.
Can we not split the room?
Shame on you.
Just make it up.
Unrelated note, Victoria Police will be looking into an operation on cyclists and motorcyclists who are not helmeted on our streets. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Kappa concrete, Natasha. Kappa concrete.
Alrighty, so this is the second last item. And this was actually a request that's been raised by a member of Victoria Police. So what they raised was that they wanted to support Victoria Police raise their community values, their PR, and the perception around them. As currently, Victoria Police is a little bit of a bad rap around being aggressive.
Can you lead us?
They're not on duty at the moment.
Put me down!
Take them across the road
He's
to the hospital.
dead, he's talking.
No, the fella laying on the ground over here.
Put me down! Put me down! Put the bomb
Back to the
up!
hospital. Calm down.
I'm fine, I'm fine!
Thank you for that.
They're just passing out on
Come,
the
mate. We asked you plenty of times.
So what was requested by the
Can we make a
Victoria
deal?
Police officer was to
No, there's no deal.
replace
I'll keep
the
it
police
in
baton with
under
a frying
control,
pan.
but we don't count the votes.
Firstly, for comedic value, because it'll increase the laughter when it comes to assisting with crime. And secondly, to just
Maybe be
generally
respectful
improve
next
the
time.
We don't think
That's
about
what you should do.
discrimination.
Everything alright, sir?
You got it now.
Discrimination.
Hey, shut up.
Man, shut it.
Shut up.
So just please keep it down.
So
It's up to
I
you,
guess the
Phil,
council
man.
discussion is this a good way for Victoria Police to improve their image, or will it hinder it? Should we be requesting, again it's a request because we cannot force Victoria Police to do anything, but should we request Victoria Police to use frying pans instead of batons?
Yeah,
Well, you can smoke and drink coffee at the same time.
If they don't want to do it as much, maybe at least one day, have a
He's
frying
got a
pan
tart
day.
in his hand and he's got a
Yeah,
coffee.
frying pan.
Yeah.
Last one, right? Get some more.
Fry pit, yep. All in favour?
Frying pan
favour,
Friday.
frying pan.
50-50.
50 again.
I might throw over to Natasha.
Yeah, look, as the representative of Victoria Police, I would just like to state that Victoria Police are wholly professional in everything they do. Walking around with a frying pan in our arsenal, one would not be an appropriate weapon to use if we do need to go ahead and administer our use of force. That just seems really ludicrous. I'm
smoke
not
all
sure
that
why
coffee again.
Curtis Stone. I'm gonna start whipping out an omelette or something. But the police baton is specifically designed to deal with certain situations as well. So a frying pan, just whoever suggests that, honestly, I'm not quite sure why you exist.
With all due respect,
Man,
this
I'll
is a
happily
waste
show
of
you that a
time.
frying pan's better than your bat.
Can you do a guitar?
Hey, it's not WWE. Not sure why we're using fucking foreign objects.
I mean,
so it's a no
my-
if in Victoria, please.
My thinking in relation to
That stretch is
improving,
fucking heavy, 15
public
kilos.
images, maybe Victoria Police should get a PR division.
How much, Matt?
Okay, well, is
Too
that
far
a
gone.
separate?
Too far gone.
Yeah, separate point. I just didn't see how the frying pan use would link to improving the PR.
I believe if anything, it'd probably hinder the PR to see a bunch of police officers running around trying to hit someone with a frying pan.
I'll be honest, when we see you run around, you look pretty stupid as it is.
Okay. Amira.
No.
Oh, shoes off, right now.
Alrighty.
Shoes off, Knox, please.
Any
Shoes
other
off.
thoughts, Jane?
Yeah.
or-
Then put it back on.
I just think carrying a frying pan around is absolutely ludicrous, seeing as
keep going, keep
batons
going.
are over half the size
Killing the
and
fun.
also can be collapsible. So I just
Are you sure?
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
want to.
To be fair, I feel like they're hitting us regardless, so yeah, it's gonna happen.
Well, don't threaten the lives of others.
This discussion is a waste of time.
Alrighty.
Cover up
I
as much as
agree.
possible.
I will not be writing over then.
Hello, funny
The
though.
very last item on our list is in relation to introducing news helicopters into the city. So, as you may or may not be
Oh, news
aware, Melbourne City
helicopters.
Council last term granted permission for Ms. Renisha Williams to be an on-scene crime reporter for any sort of current events. She has flagged that due to the number of events that happen in Melbourne, she's not able to keep up with it all on the ground. So what she's requested is to be allowed to use a news helicopter to allow her to do news reports from the sky.
Yes.
For
That'd be
council
sick.
discussion is should news
Definitely.
reporters be allowed helicopters, because once you open it up to one
Yes.
person, obviously everyone will want to do it.
Everyone's gonna be a news reporter.
Should there be a criminal history requirement if it is allowed? And are there any proposed alternatives? For example,
Imagine getting hold of a
funding a
helicopter.
high-speed vehicle rather than, giving her a helicopter.
I think previous council meeting we've had a while ago, there was a discussion about getting helicopter license for businesses. Like with your last point there, if we're going to give it to one person, you're going to have to give it to everyone. I think that if we are going to do it, we should reword it that known businesses that are going to use it for business purposes should have maybe look at getting a helicopter license. I don't think criminal history should be checked. Some criminals may want to make a comeback and, refix their, why should we impact them on their future fixing their, getting a job? It's making it a lot harder for them. It's not very fair.
I'll reoffend. Can she just get a faster car that's not the hearse? Like, why doesn't she start there?
I think it's
I
more
feel
if
like she's
she's
just
doing
asking for it.
Shit on
yeah, if she's in the sky and doing the reports, she can do coverage from the sky. I think that was her intention.
Well, I feel like the amount of the helicopters that crash, not only near the south side of Rancho, but the amount of helicopters I hear over near Uru is just completely, absurd. And I feel like that if this were to be a thing, it would have to be a new law at potentially our next meeting to grant businesses with the license to pilot a helicopter with the correct means. I stand by Nona's point.
So, do we get RPGs now?
Wait, did you say
Alright. Any other views?
Yeah, look, a helicopter license in Victoria Police's view would need to be highly regulated. The last thing we want to see is someone using a helicopter at a bank robbery or breaking friends out of the prison. So in terms of known criminals having access to a helicopter, that's a ridiculous idea. And a side note as well, Renisha can barely drive her fucking hearse, so giving her access to a moving plane-like vehicle or helicopter or whatever it is would be a massive safety risk to the city of Melbourne. So if this does move forward, she would need someone who is very highly qualified to actually pilot it for her.
Maybe you do. Don't get a fucking Paulette pilot. They're not the best.
And in a stable frame of mind.
Alright. So all in favour of the helicopter?
You got
please
taken
raise
out of
your
the
hand.
room, Mullen.
Oh my god.
And
Hello?
all opposed?
May I ask you why you're
Alright, that one's not
bending
getting
down and
through.
looking at-
Alright, that's the last item that we
Hello.
had to vote on. So,
Are you discriminating?
I'm not
I
discriminating, I'm
will
just asking you
hang
a
around
simple
for a little while
question.
longer if anybody wanted to come and have a
Yes,
chat.
I've got a
Thank you
hurt
for the end
my
of the
ankle's
first council
hurting.
meeting.
Oh, I don't want to buy no gun.
Thank you
I think
everyone
it's
for coming.
quite
Any criminals with automatic
weird
weapons
that you're
want to have a
bending
chat?
over and looking
No,
at
it's not here.
What a blood club.
Oh, finally, they're finished.
What a trap. Shove it up your ass.
Mate, I'm going to Sydney.
Let's try and get this chain over there. Fuck, get out of my way, dickheads.
It's over. Get in.
Done, all finished.
What a pointless chat.
Oh my god, Frosty, you did an amazing job, man.
Good.
Yeah, fuck.
No, you did really
Oh
well.
God, you look so
Bearcat's
different.
heavy sniper, PR division.
Bearcat, heavy sniper, PR division. Sounds great.
We charge sweet.
What's going on?
Hello,
How
may I
many students
please
we got?
go to the public relations gang?
Where are you guys?
I can't hear shit. I'm going outside.
Sorry,
Well, Jane, if you want to...
Let's go outside. Oh my god.
Alright, here.
Like pants or a skirt for a formal outfit, you're
Yes,
welcome to do that as well.
please.
Yeah.
So just the black pants.
Yeah, anything black.
Alright, do you want to...
And some
I think
heels
it's
or whatever
different for
shoes you'd
ladies.
like,
Oh,
you
no
know?
heels, no.
That's, our previous
Mm.
leadership wore heels, but it's up to you. I just
Nope.
like, because like, I wear this for
I
the
can't
city
deal
council
with
with
heels.
my... Yeah, it's fine. Do whatever you want. What a mess that was.
Oh my goodness.
First
The
council
medicinal
meeting was
marijuana
messy.
one was just a
fucking
mess.
idiots.
I was
And no
just like,
helmets?
look,
Yeah.
like
Let's
I'm
just kill
happy
everyone on
to,
the roads.
you know,
It's like a
give
loophole
someone
city issue.
the like medicinal marijuana like
So
only
it's
if
a
it's
matter of 2 seconds, my bad.
absolutely necessary.
Yeah.
I don't believe that anyone should be able
I
to
see,
distribute it
absolutely
except for
nothing.
hospital or pharmacists or
Exactly.
you know medical practitioners.
So now's probably
Ellie!
Oh.
So now's probably a bad time
As
for me
a
to ask
adult?
a question then.
Yes.
Oh, I'm about to die to hunger.
Well, you better go get some food, silly Billy.
Go for a run.
I'll catch up with you guys. If you wanna, I'll go meet up with you, man. I wanted to try and get my medicinal marijuana license. I don't actually have, as far as I know. Well, I shouldn't, because I haven't done any illegal growing or selling. A criminal charge of
That's not
drugs.
the criteria, though. Just a lack of criminal background. There needs to be.
Why do you think it's
Needs to
necessary
be a
that we give
physical
you
need
some?
for it.
Hey guys, I'm gonna die to hunger.
We'll go get some food. What
There's
do
a
you
snack
mean?
machine inside,
Yeah,
buddy.
there's a
I'm-
vending machine
Conversation,
inside.
okay.
I've got no cash on me.
I'll
Hello,
spot
this
you.
is
Then
Jackson
start
Valentine.
running.
What are your pockets?
I'm dead.
Basically.
Yeah, I'm just outside.
Here, take 500. Oh, I didn't give it to you. 1 sec, dude.
Yeah, no worries. Happy to answer those. Yeah.
Oh, these freaking guys.
Dude, give me a second, man.
Discrimination!
Give money to? How much?
I didn't get.
You okay, sir?
Fucking hell.
Paramedics. We need paramedics.
I don't think he's learning.
Do you maybe take him across the road?
Fuck's sake.
There's paramedics here. Why'd you call?
We're off duty.
Oh, that sucks. Oh, alright. You want to pick him up?
No, can you, dude? Because I'm
gonna go and get my pants changed now.
No
so
worries.
I can't.
But like when
Oh.
you're on duty, obviously what you're wearing. But just for other events
Alright,
like
you can
this,
wait.
you can wear these sort of.
Yep. Okay, set a.
Great work,
Nice
though,
outfit.
Jane.
Ugh. Fucking,
Hey.
are you like kidding me? The whole bicycle helmet thing.
know,
It's like
so-
the amount of
Yeah,
people
that's
I've
not
scooped up off the streets
Hold on.
that have
Kind of.
severe head trauma.
Hey,
Yes,
Jane,
sir.
are you going off duty, are you?
I will be eventually. Like I can take some people out for a bit. So
I've got
I'm
maybe
fine with
half
that.
an hour if you've got the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, excellent.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I kind of just wanted to
Take me to your
kind of
vehicle.
talk to you guys, figure out
Right.
the requirements.
So you would need to
Very
demonstrate
programs,
sort of ongoing chronic illness that is preventing you from doing your daily tasks.
Oh no,
and
I'm
the
not looking for that. I'm looking for a license to sell.
oh, absolutely not. We don't offer those.
No.
Okay, okay.
We only offer a permit to allow people with ongoing chronic pain and illness to carry 6 units on them for a 3-week period, and that is all.
Ah, okay, okay. So how would I go
I
about
was waiting for one of them.
the other end of that?
As in the permit that we offer, or your make-believe permit?
The supply of legal medicinal marijuana.
You'll have to speak to the Lord Mayor about that because currently it's illegal. So
Yeah, I
we've
know
already
she's
tried.
trying to
We've
pass
tried
a bill,
last
but-
term.
Can you
It
ask
was.
if they can help me out?
Hold on.
There's a hospital across the road, sir.
Amee's over there.
But yeah, it was denied last term, and it's most likely going to be
Run,
denied
Forrest,
again.
run!
That's what I was thinking too.
Needs
Yeah.
to chest. Over
I
there.
thought I'd just talk to you guys about it because I was thinking about starting up a medicinal marijuana
Yeah, we literally just told you
dispensary
there's a hospital right
and
there. They'd be able to
supplying
give
the
way
city
better
with
treatment than that.
Yeah, well,
anyone
that would be
with,
unlawful, unfortunately,
medicinal
and then you would.
marijuana
Don't
license,
underestimate
but
yourselves.
That's only
Run.
if it's
Alright.
passed
Needs
and
to
it's
chest,
needs to
obviously
chest.
fully legal.
Yeah.
But I guess until then, you know, I'll figure it all out on that end, and hopefully the bill gets passed, and I can get that up
No
and
worries.
help the city out, and yeah, that'd be good. Well, anyway, you guys have a lovely night. Hopefully
See you
it's not too
later.
busy, but
Outside.
it do be.
Excuse me, officer.
All right, bye guys. So,
Hello.
Bye, Kiki. Bye, Kiki.
Do you guys know if there's any contact information for the sheriff's
It's
office?
speech. You fit.
There's an
Looking
app
at my stuff.
and
Ooh.
in the emergency section. I think
Right,
you can.
all love, guys. I gotta go. Bye.
Boy.
Oh no, that's
We
just
just tried to
directions.
get to contact you to an issue.
Hang on. I
If
know
you put a
someone.
call for the police,
I
lad,
know
you'll
that
be able to
guy.
contact one if they aren't doing it.
Hey,
Usually wears a
Dante.
cowboy hat. It's
Hello.
funny as.
How you doing today?
Eyes good, how you?
I is good too.
Don't mean to Dante. Dante's a legend.
What do you mean?
What I say is,
Imitation is the finest, the best form of flattery, isn't it? You know,
no,
to be flattered.
No, especially
Yeah.
if you do it bad.
It deserves
If I do it bad, okay.
At least if you're
Love
gonna
to see you
do
do
it,
it better.
Put it in
at least
general.
if you want to do it, you have to do it in the right way.
No, I'm too gay to
Alright,
do
I
it.
love some
Actually,
lessons, Dante.
No, you
No,
have
I'm
to be
too gay.
accurate.
Don't be
It has to be accurate.
So
What do you
smack
mean?
yourself in the forehead with
No.
a frying pan 50 times, and then you'll be on the same intellect level.
Oh.
Yep,
Oh,
checks out.
that's how you got there. Makes
Yeah,
sense
no,
how
I
you got
didn't
the
do
job.
that, but that's what
Gotcha.
you'll need to do to be on the same
Did you ride a bike
Ah, I
without your
knew
helmet
it.
I bet you did, officer.
You know the ripsticks? You had to the kid.
Jesus.
Oh, not ripsticks.
Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
didn't wear a helmet on a ripstick.
Yep, checks out, checks out.
No.
So is that like the level of hiring that the Victorian Police Force use?
They put me on a special program.
Special program.
Oh, that's cute.
You
Yeah.
poor thing.
Oh my goodness.
I'm waiting for him to say life is like a box of chocolates.
I'm gonna go and speak to the council about something, but
Oh shit, I'm drinking on duty.
Because they're not all smart asses.
yeah,
Well, I've just got ignored by every cop.
of course you can. You're my new assistant.
I'm your sister.
Wait, if there's no sheriffs around for hours, I'm gonna kill someone. How am I supposed to get anywhere?
Guess we're going?
What am I gonna do?
Yeah, lead the way where you parked.
I don't know if he's taking those two students, but he'll radio me if he's not.
Yep, I'm good.
There's two paramedics. I mean, one's up for option.
I'm not gonna kill paramedics.
I'm not on duty yet. Should I go on duty and turn on my radio?
Give me 1 second.
Wait a minute.
Yes. So you want to flex your F6, go on duty.
Is that Pete? Nah, it's Pete. Pete, you're
Yeah,
a
mate, I'm Pete.
paramedic?
Yeah, I just got
paramedic?
inducted today, mate.
Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm hoping to help everybody.
Nah, that's good, that's good.
I'm sure I'll see you plenty
At
of
the
times.
same time, yeah, at the same time, I'm still going to be doing some trucking, so.
Well, you two have a good one.
Yeah, mate.
Stay safe.
What's your last name, Pete?
Jones. We've met before, do we?
Inside, she left already.
I've put in a call on the call.
I'm just on channel 5. I think that's correct, unless you want to go to the other one.
What's called Council Hall.
Oh, I just got paid. I don't know where the
You,
pay went.
what's your last name, Pete?
Pete Jones. Sorry, I have the walkie-talkie out, so I might have been pressing the wrong button.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, and another guy was like, "Oh, I just want to sell it legally. I want to
Ready?
Yep, ready when you are.
He's like, "Can you not give me a permit?" I'm like, "Can a paramedic give you a permit to open up a dispensary?"
One is
Oh.
code 1. Patient is no longer there.
Oh. Alright, so I'm going to need the codes. God damn it. There's a lot of codes. Well, there's 12 codes, but...
So,
So-
Pete, what made you want to
yeah.
be in Ambulance Victoria?
I see a lot of gaps, usually when I fly into the city and there's lots of ambulance duties available, and I thought, they're
Yeah.
taking an intake, and I thought I could help out.
Yep. Okay, let me just go on duty.
Instead, I was
Okay,
getting
and what I
paid
want you
already.
to do is, my call sign is 242.
242.
And
yeah.
what code are we going right now?
Let me just look that one up real quick. Oh, Jesus Christ. So we're going to be going code 1.
Sure are. So just go on your radio and just go 242 going code 1.
Okay. 242 going code 1. Sounded very efficient. Oh, shit. Oh, I got in the back.
Let me go and switch this out for a sprinter.
So how long have you been a paramedic?
Funnily enough, not that long.
Oh,
Maybe
right.
like a month or so.
Really? Oh, I
Yeah.
thought you, because you're a senior level, or higher level.
Maybe I'm just doing something right. I don't know. Righty, let's grab ourselves a sprinter. And have you got your equipment on you at the moment?
I do. I've got a couple of med kits. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, I've got 2 med kits, 2 green whistles, 1 fentanyl, 1 morphine.
We're
And
going
they've
to
all
need
got...
some more med kits.
I was only told to grab a couple for my first run, because it's only going to be
Yeah,
about
well, if
half
you're
an
only
hour.
here for half an hour, that's fine then.
That's what I thought, yeah.
Some shifts you need a lot.
I believe that. Oh.
Save the streets, fellas.
Love ya.
I'm assuming you know that person?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I've gone through my induction and everything, so...
Oh, what happened to that ambulance?
Is that an ambulance, or is that a cop car?
I don't know if it's a cop car or an ambulance, but it's a police car, don't worry.
Oh dear.
Not our problem.
It's not a cost to the city.
Now, what do you know so far? What are you comfortable with?
So I know the basics, so I guess the first thing I should probably do is find a person that's just has a basic injury, so I could just do the initial assessment.
Yep.
And you could take me through it.
Yep, okay. And do you want to go through your codes first?
Yep. So I know
So do you want me to
code
question you
1.
on your codes?
Yes, sure, go right ahead.
Yep, okay. So what do we, what's the code 2?
So that's when we're at hospital with no patients.
Yep, or just arrived at the hospital.
Just arrived? Okay.
Yeah, but we rarely ever call code 2s. It's, you know, you'll never really hear it on the radio because we're always so
Yeah.
busy getting people out. So, code 3?
Code 3 is a meal break.
Correct. And when we call a code 3, it's something along the lines of 242 is going code 3 to Walla Kebabs, or just wherever you're
Okay.
going so everyone knows where you're at.
So yeah, so everyone knows your location as well. That's
Yeah,
good.
exactly. And now what's the code 4?
Code 4 is when you need to do a refuel.
Yep, which we rarely ever do because these things, the tanks in these things are huge. So
Okay, that's excellent.
yeah, I've never refilled one of these in my entire life. So,
Oh, that's great.
and what's code 5?
Code 5 is arrive at location, so I assume that's when you get to a patient.
Yep, or just as soon as you drive up on the scene, just 242 is code 5, or if you don't see anyone around, you just go 242 code 5 searching for patient.
Yep, and do you actually say your location for that one as well?
No. They should see which job you're responding to in the CAD system.
Okay.
Yep, and what's code 6?
Code 6 is en route to hospital with a number of patients.
Yep, okay, so example. You able to give me an example for that one?
242 en route to, and I'd say, assuming a hospital name, whichever one I'm going to, with 2 patients.
Yep, so I'd basically just say, 242 is code 6 to Mount Zona and 2
yes.
patients on board. Yeah, just always make sure you call the code 6.
Yeah.
And code 7?
Code 7 is en route to hospital with no patients. I'm assuming that's for when you're about to go off shift.
Yeah, or if you're just restocking, resupplying, so I can just be like, 242 is code 7 to pillbox, to restock, or, just
Yeah,
anything along
sure.
those lines. You don't have to give an explanation on it. And what is what's the code 9?
Code 9 is when we're under duress, when we're under being attacked or we feel we're threatened.
So you obviously know where your magical duress button is as well?
Yes, I do, yes.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's very rare that we ever use our code 9 over the radio because sometimes we just get incapacitated or stuff like that.
Yep.
And the moment that you pop that duress, you smack that duress button, you know that someone's on their way. You can call
Yes.
it out. I've called it out before when I've been attacked by a cougar or anything.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. What's code 8?
Code 8 is off duty, so when we're signing off.
Yep, so we go 242's going code 8, and essentially you'll get some answers like, thank you for your service, or stuff like that. Just a friendly goodbye
That's
from
nice.
the other paramedics. Right, so I'm going to get out here and I'm going to get you to drive, okay?
Sure.
And then our number 1 rule is we always turn the ambulance off and we always lock it when we're on scene or getting out
Yep,
anywhere.
okay.
And what's the code 10?
Code 10 is MICA assistance.
Yep, so that's if we need micro assistance. So say if we have a patient that pain is about a 10 on the scale, and obviously that means that they need ketamine, and we can't administer ketamine. Only a micro paramedic can do that. So we'll just go over the radio to say 242, code 10. Just need a mica that can possibly administer some ketamine and you'll maybe get a response, maybe not. If you don't get a response, what we tend to do is just use the morphine instead for some pain relief.
Oh, yes. Okay, yep.
Yeah.
I
And
was
what's
told
code
not
11?
to go. Code 11 is we're unavailable.
Yep. What were you saying before? You were told not
I
to.
was thinking we were told not to go over fentanyl at this time.
Code 1 the latest.
Not fentanyl. It's ketamine.
I meant that's as high as we go is fentanyl.
Yeah, fentanyl's as high as we go. So fentanyl's about an 8-9. About a 8 to 9.
Yep.
And then 9 to 10 is morphine, and then after morphine you have ketamine.
Yep, excellent.
And then what's code 12?
Code 12 is a motor vehicle accident, but I'm not sure if that means we're attending one or if we've had one.
No, so that means we've had one. So say, a local decides to ram into you, or, my most hated people on the planet, garbage trucks.
Ah, yes.
If they ram into you and cause an accident, you just go, 242's had a major code 12, or it could be a minor one. Obviously, if you ever had a major one, you call it over saying major code 12, need assistance or anything like that if you're injured.
Yep, okay.
So those are your codes. Now, if we could get some calls, that would be nice.
I haven't seen any pop up. I think it's all gone
Yeah.
quiet, which is typical.
Oh, you said the Q word, so
Oh!
you've done it now. There we go. Oh,
Right,
no, that's
so-
their call. That's so you see how it came up orange?
Yep.
So orange is typically where they've made another phone call on an already existing call.
And someone's already attending and they're on their way.
Well, they may not be attending. That's when you go into the CAD system and see if someone's responded to it.
Okay.
But orange basically just means that someone else is on scene, or just a civilian, and they've called it in as well.
Yep, I see. Oh, that's good.
So
Do you
sometimes
get-
you'll get a giant spam of calls up at the rack
going
feed
code
facility because they've blown up a petrol pump.
Oh, I see, yeah. So do you get many major injuries, or is it just run-of-the-mill, knocks and bruises and things like that?
A lot of car accidents, of course.
Oh, yeah.
Fairview, we have to. Also, one really important thing to remember is that we do prioritize VicPol calls.
Of course, yep.
Unless obviously you're on a call at the time, don't rush what you're doing. Okay, there may be other paramedics on that can take the VicPol call.
Yep.
Say you're sitting there, there's a couple of calls in the system, you see that there's a VicPol one, we always prioritize those ones.
Yep, okay, excellent. And I did ask at orientation, and Jackson gave me the answer, but I was also wondering, on a typical day, what would you take out of the cabinet to be used without going too far into the expiries?
I take 5 medkits.
Yep.
2 whistles, 1 fentanyl, and 1. Maybe morphine, but usually you don't really need morphine.
Oh, okay. I took one. Damn it.
No, that's okay. Sometimes there's been times where I'm like, oh shit, this person actually needs morphine.
Yeah, okay. And what do you do in that case? Do you actually just put in something else, or?
What was that, sorry?
Would you do double green whistle? Where's this guy going?
I don't know. Just 2 green whistles, 1 fentanyl.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, you mean if you don't have any morphine on you?
Yeah, do you have
or-
an alternate?
No. So, basically, you just gotta make do with what you've got. Maybe take a call over the radio, see if someone nearby has any morphine on them.
Oh, yeah.
But, if you don't have morphine, then you just go to the next best, which is the fentanyl.
There's a call. Can we go to that one?
Yep.
Right, let's have a look here.
Oh, did you want to call that
Three,
one?
disregard that call.
someone
It's
else.
just
Disregard.
ferals being feral.
Ah, okay.
242, copy.
10-4, thank you for the warning.
For the warning, I wanted to deal with some ferals tonight.
Not these ones, trust me.
Oh, I already dealt with someone that didn't. All he wanted was to treat me like a taxi service. Didn't want me to treat him.
Yeah, that's another thing. If anyone asks you for a lift, obviously you need to remind them that we are not a taxi service.
Yeah, I know
This is
there's
Ambulance
there is a
Victoria,
taxi
not Taxi
available.
Victoria.
Yeah.
because you know we have strict policies. Not supposed to have people in ambulances unless they're needing treatment.
I see.
Sometimes
Yep.
I can pop people, give them a lift down the road or something if we know it's not too busy. The moment you get a call that you need to go to, obviously we don't want anyone in these ambulances.
Yeah, that's true. And obviously always shut them off and lock them when you're on scene.
Exactly, yeah. We'll avoid Uwu at the moment because apparently there's people being feral.
Yeah, I'll just go around this way.
It might just be one of those nights where we drive around and they just question you. So, we've just arrived on a scene. You see someone on the floor. You approach them. What's the first thing you do?
First thing I would be doing is asking for their name and if they know where they are.
Yep. Okay. So you just go up and, hello, my name's Pete from Ambulance Victoria. Can you tell me your name, please? And then, yeah, I guess you just go from there.
And
Then you
ask
do-
for pain level, or where they're probably where they're injured
yeah.
first, actually.
Yeah. Usually just obviously you want to establish what's happened. So you do your head-to-toe check first.
Yep.
So you do your head-to-toe check. If you don't get a response from them with, the slash knee muscle function, then you just say, hey, so, could you tell me where it hurts and could you tell me what's happened here? Is that dumped?
I think it
Why
is.
do they dump them in the middle of the road?
You know that costs them $1,500 every time they dump a
it's
vehicle.
so silly.
But anyway,
Triple
yes.
3, whereabouts are you so I
hang
can
on.
meet up and collect my prize?
Oh, they're talking about something
Heading
else.
back to Mirror Park now if you'd like to meet me there.
So after that,
I'll
I'd
be
assume
there
that I'd
with
have
the,
to
student.
go for saline drip to provide medical assistance and possibly use the medical kit to revive the person.
Yep, so it obviously depends on what their injuries are. So say that we've had someone down here at the billiard hall, they've not drank enough water and they've passed out.
101 is code 7 to Mirror Park HQ.
This is 242. I've also just got a student, Kiki, heading towards Mirror Park HQ as well.
Yeah, he was with us and he left.
Yeah, I think he just needs a little bit of guidance just to get ready and then go out.
He was in uniform and then he left. Because we both told him we had to get changed and everything, and then we were standing next to us and he just ran back inside and then drove away in his car.
I'm not too sure then, but yeah, just keep an eye out for him at HQ. He'll pop up.
I was just wondering if they were talking about me, but they're not.
No, just Kiki.
Ah, okay.
Where are all these calls?
I actually do have to fly out shortly. Should I go back to...
HQ?
Yep, go back to HQ. I'll start heading that direction.
That's right. Look, you'll find that some nights are like this, where there's just this dead silence. It's really weird. But then some nights are absolute chaos.
I'm actually very surprised it's this quiet.
No, this tends to happen a lot with students.
It's typical.
Jump on duty and everyone's like, you know what? We're not going to get into a car crash today. This vehicle, though, up here, one thing we can do is mark cars for impound. So if you see a vehicle like this obstructing the roadway, obviously we just flick our lights on if we're in the road with your Q muscle. Yep.
All right.
Turn the ambulance off. Use your page down muscle.
Come on, that's it.
Yeah, I thought
out
I...
for these
Oh, hang on.
ambulances. Okay, so what we do is we use our third eye on this and we mark it for the impound.
Oh, it's
This
very
gentleman
easy.
really does not like my ambulance.
Just gonna
Let me just
damage
move.
it. Yeah. There's a tow truck right over there.
There you go. You wanna jump in? Left it running for you.
Cheers.
What? Alright, I'll
Wait.
I was just saying there's a tow truck right there on the right.
Well, actually, where did you drive your car to HQ?
I did. I left it in the. I didn't leave it in the car park. I put it in the valet.
Nice.
So, what else do you do besides Amber, or is this the only job you like to do?
I also work for Vic Pol, but just as a recruit.
All right, cool. So you've just started.
Yeah. Yeah, just started. Just learning the ropes and stuff, so...
Oh, very nice.
So, yeah.
And how are you in finding that so far?
Oh, it is a lot to take in. It is insane. And trying to differentiate some of the radio comms compared to Vic Pol and AB is very, can be a bit confusing, but it's super fun. It's always action-packed and definitely a bit risky, though. You know, sometimes I do worry, you know, my life is on the line, but again, I've had some pretty hairy situations with ambulance stuff.
Oh, yeah. Crazy
What are
lunatics.
these locals doing?
They turn left from the right lane.
Yeah. But yeah, what else do you do?
I drive trucks, so I do a lot
drive
of
trucks?
Yeah, I drive a lot in True Blue towing and garbage trucks as well. So yeah.
Oh well, my comment about garbage trucks earlier then would have sat nicely.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I do drive a little bit fast sometimes, but most of the time I'm pretty safe. And yeah, I can understand where you're coming from because I've seen some lunatics.
No, it's just the ones that don't yield. I had one deliberately ran me off the road. I was behind him with my sirens and my lights on, and I was beeping at him to move lanes. And as soon as I went to pass because he wasn't moving, he swung into me and major code 12 and drove off.
Oh right, did it wipe you out? Did you have to wait for?
Yeah, no, it was bad.
Oh, that's terrible. Well, hopefully when I'm back in student tomorrow, hopefully there'll be a little more action.
Yeah, absolutely.
Need to practice.
Right, let's pop this ambulance away.
Oh, you want me to park it?
Just pop it away in the garage. So go left. So on the far left side of the garage, you will see the 3 lines inside the garage.
Well, it hasn't popped in for me yet.
Yep.
Oh, it should
Left,
be right in front.
left, and there it is.
Excellent. Oh, thank you very much. Even though there wasn't anything.
That's okay.
Did you want me? I'll give you these things, so at least they don't go to waste.
Yeah, absolutely. I can just pop them away. Or, you know, you can put the medkits in your personal locker. So you can put your medkits in the locker.
True.
But obviously any stuff like that, if you have fellow paramedics around, I'm sure they appreciate the extra stuff.
Yeah, get that. I guess that's gonna shit itself. Whoops. Oh shit. Yeah, I just used it.
Beautiful.
There we go. And is that are they personal lockers, are they?
Yeah, so they all link to every hospital.
Oh, that's good. I accidentally used the fentanyl on myself, but it doesn't look like it's affecting me, which is good.
Give it time.
Oh no! Don't say that. No, no, no.
Alright, so your personal locker's over here. And yeah, you just chuck your stuff in there and it'll be there for next time.
Oh, I can leave my stretcher in here too. Is that probably the best place to leave it, or anywhere else?
Yes, absolutely.
And the radio
Pretty
as
much
well.
everything in here, radio, all that. And,
except for the access pass. Haha.
Yeah, no, you want to keep that on you.
Yeah. Nice try. And I've got to go off duty as well.
Yep, so first things first, off duty. And obviously once you get your own call sign, you'll call it out on the radio.
Yep.
You go,
oh yes, true.
242 going code 8, but I'm not going code 8. So.
No, you're not. Okay, I'll just get changed into my casual clothing and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow, maybe.
Alrighty, thank you, Pete.
Thank you. Let me just chuck on an outfit, casual wear. There we go. too easy. Oh, someone's shirtless.
Oh dear.
OMG, hi.
Hello, Gadon. How are you? Why is everybody
Good.
shirtless today?
Oh, we were talking about Lilo's other job.
Oh,
that's true. That's
at
right.
Vanilla Unicorn?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, indeed.
Alright, I'll catch you guys later.
I won't catch you because I don't have a net anymore. I lost it.
Anymore.
Yeah.
Where's the valet? It's not here. Oh, here it is. Okay, why is my mouse all of a sudden steering my car? Yes, my mouse is now steering my car for some bizarre reason. Got it. Alright, we'll head back down to garbage, and that's where I'm going to fly out for tonight. But yes, looks like I've got a lot to learn in the whole looking after people business. Oh, there's the cops. Oh, there's the cops. Yeah, I got lucky with that one. God damn it. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what was making me look around like that, but alright. Alright, so that's it for tonight. I'm going to log out from this area. Thank you all very much for attending. I've got to admit, that was a lot of fun. I learnt a hell of a lot. For tonight. But what we're going to do, we're going to go and raid Eleanor, who I was just with in the Ambo. So let's set this up now. And here it comes. Right, so thank you very much everyone for coming along. I enjoyed it thoroughly. I'm going to be doing some more Ambo stuff in the very near future. But for now, say good day to Eleanor for me, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.